Chapter 35. Your Majesty, I think you'll feel better if you let me go. Shen Yu suggested seriously. But I don't want to let you go. Be good and let me hug you for a while. The man's voice was tinted with different colors because of his desire, which made Shen Yu's ears tingle. The hand around his waist was very obedient. Shen Yu stood still for a while. After confirming that Shang Junlin really didn't intend to do anything to him here, he felt relieved. He didn't dare to tease Shang Junlin anymore. Sometimes, men couldn't stand being teased. However, after waiting for a while, Shan Yu couldn't wait any longer. Instead, the situation became more and more serious. The two of them were very close to each other. Their skin was only separated by a thin layer of clothes. After being soaked in the hot water, the thin cloth almost didn't have any effect. The burning sensation spread from the outside to the inside. Shen Yu didn't feel sleepy at all. If he could still fall asleep in this situation, he was really careless. No matter how sleepy Shen Yu was, he couldn't ignore the situation at hand. Your Majesty, why don't you let me go? It was easier to calm down when he was alone than now. Shang Junlin buried his head in Shen Yu's shoulder and didn't make a sound. Shen Yu moved a little. His waist was instantly tightened. Shen Yu couldn't understand why Shang Junlin would rather suffer than let him go. It was quiet in the bathtub. Even the sound of splashing water disappeared. Shan Yu's body was getting hotter and hotter. He didn't know if it was because he was scalded by the water or because he was scalded. Your Majesty! Shen Yu exclaimed. He felt the man behind him move slightly. Under the burning sensation, Shen Yu couldn't help but feel numb. I can't stay here any longer. I have to stay away from Shang Junlin. An alarm went off in his mind. A sense of crisis suddenly arose. Shan Yu couldn't care about anything else. He pulled the arm around his waist and wanted to leave. Where are you going? Before Shan Yu was far away, Shang Junlin hooked Shan Yu's clothes and pulled hard. Shan Yu turned around in the water and lay face to face in Shang Junlin's arms. This position was even more dangerous than before. Shan Yu was clearly aware of this. He had no choice but to bite the bullet and say, His Majesty said he wouldn't touch me. Shang Junlin was silent for a while and said hoarsely, I won't do it to the end. Shan Yu's hair stood on end as he thought about the ointment incident. After that, he asked Shang Junlin for some books so that he could know what a man should do with a woman. But that didn't mean he could face this kind of thing calmly. Just by sticking close to it, they could feel the terrifying aura. How could they possibly enter? Zhan is very uncomfortable. Shang Junlin pulled Shan Yu's hand down. Gue Jun, please help Shen. The man's voice was filled with irrepressible desire. His voice was lower and hoarser than usual, but it was also more seductive. Shen Yu didn't notice this. He just wanted to withdraw his hand, but the man held it tightly and he couldn't break free. But how could his strength be compared to Shang Junlin's? No matter how hard he resisted, he still touched it. Your Majesty, you be good. Touch it. The man coaxed in a low voice. I don't want to. You. Let go of me. The water rippled around them. Occasionally, the man's coaxing and the young man's sobbing refusal could be heard from the hazy mist. After some time, the sound of water gradually stopped. Shen Yu rubbed his sore wrist and said in a hoarse voice, I don't want to wash. Zhen will also help Gue Jun. Shen Yu avoided Shang Junlin's hand. I don't want to. I want to go back to sleep. Shan Yu didn't know how attractive he looked at the moment. The corners of his eyes were red and there were water droplets on his eyelashes. With just a glance, Shang Junlin's eyes darkened. Come here, you. Shen Yu took advantage of the man's relaxed state and swam far away. When he heard Shang Junlin's words, he subconsciously shivered and shook his head as he retreated. Shang Junlin swam to Shen Yu's side and held him in his arms. He whispered in his ear, Why are you running? The water will be cold if we continue to soak in it. Your Majesty, let's go back. Shen Yu reached out to stop the approaching man. He just wanted to end this absurd scene as soon as possible. You, Don't worry. The water here won't be cold. Didn't you notice that the water in the bathtub is still warm after so long? Shan Yu felt that it seemed to be true. After so long, the water in the bathtub should have become cold. However, the temperature of the water now was about the same as when he first entered the bathtub. As the two of them got closer, Shen Yu felt something and was shocked. Your Majesty, didn't you just… Guijun, do you think Zhan can be satisfied so easily? Shang Junlin deliberately got closer. The light fragrance on Shan Yu's body became more obvious in the steam. Shang Junlin liked it very much. He liked this smell and couldn't help but lower his head to sniff it. The tip of his nose and lips brushed against the skin on his neck, causing him to shiver. Shan Yu felt a familiar sensation and couldn't help but shiver. Your Majesty, my hand hurts. Shang Junlin rubbed Shan Yu's wrist. Don't use your hand this time. In the end, Shan Yu was carried out of the bathtub by Shang Junlin. He didn't have any strength left. His whole body was weak and in great pain. He hadn't fallen asleep yet. He lay in Shang Junlin's arms with his eyes closed. When they walked out of the door, the weather outside and inside the room was completely different. Shan Yu felt a little cold and tightened his grip on the robe in his hands. What's wrong? Shang Junlin noticed his movements and stopped. Shen Yu didn't say anything. Shang Junlin paused for a moment and then ordered Eunuch Meng to bring the cloak in his arms and cover Shan Yu with it. Shan Yu didn't say a word to Shang Junlin until he fell asleep. He was too tired and didn't want to talk to Shang Junlin. He said that he was very uncomfortable, but Shang Junlin didn't want to let go of him. Shan Yu was already very sleepy. After this incident, he was even more exhausted. He forced himself to stay awake for a while, but he couldn't help but fall asleep when they were about to reach the bedchamber. Shang Junlin came back with Shen Yu in his arms. Mu Shi, who had been waiting for most of the night, was about to go up to him when Eunuch Meng pulled her away. Didn't you see that His Majesty was so worried about Guijun? Why did you go up to him at this time? Mu Shi was worried. Is Guijun okay? Eunuch Meng, with His Majesty around, how could anything happen to Guijun? Mu Shi, but… Guijun he… Eunuch Meng, why don't you understand? Think about it. His Majesty and Guijun have been bathing together for so long. It's just the two of them, and now His Majesty is carrying Guijun back. Mu Shi, Eunuch Meng, what do you mean? Eunuch Meng gave her a "you understand" look. It's exactly what you're thinking. Shang Junlin carried Shan Yu all the way to the bed. She was probably exhausted. Even after Shang Junlin changed his clothes and lay down on the bed, Shan Yu didn't wake up. Not long after Shang Junlin lay down, Shan Yu, who had her back to him, rolled a few times and snuggled into his arms. She found a comfortable position and stopped moving. Shang Junlin found it funny. He pulled her into his arms and thought to himself, just now, she kept avoiding me and didn't let me get close. She was quite honest when she fell asleep. // After Prince Li returned home, he told Princess Consort Li that the Qian family's matter had been settled. Princess Consort Li didn't think too much about it at first. She was only happy that the Qian family had finally escaped disaster. Soon, she realized that something was wrong. Princess Consort Li was a very intelligent woman. It was fine when she didn't find anything wrong. Once she found something, she could dig deeper and find out more about the truth. In the morning, she stopped Prince Li, who was about to leave the room, and asked, "Are you hiding something from me?" "What are you talking about, Princess?" "Why would I hide anything from you?" Prince Li subconsciously retorted. "Every time you feel guilty, you call me Princess." Princess Consort Li mercilessly exposed Prince Li's lie. "I really didn't. How can you not believe me?" Prince Li knew that this kind of thing couldn't be hidden, but he wanted to delay telling Princess Consort Li the truth. He didn't want Princess Consort Li to blame herself for this. Princess Consort Li listed the abnormalities in the residence one by one and said coldly, "What did you say to His Majesty when you went into the palace last time? What did you use in exchange for the lives of the Qian family?" "Don't be angry," It's really nothing. Seeing that Princess Consort Li was really angry, Prince Li knew that he couldn't hide it anymore. He told her the truth. I just gave up some of my authority as Prince Li. It's really nothing, don't worry. Really? Really, as long as you don't despise me for having nothing in the future. After making it clear to Princess Consort Li, Prince Li didn't hide his movements anymore. He took inventory of all the properties under his name, handed over what should be handed over, and sold what should be sold. The bigger the movement, the more people who found out. Some people who were close to Prince Li came to inquire about it, but they were all calmly sent back. Prince Li is actually very smart. This move of retreating in order to advance, not only did he maintain his reputation, but he also sold His Majesty a favor. Shen Yu scooped a spoonful of porridge and slowly put it into his mouth. Why do you say so, young master? She didn't understand. Prince Li originally angered His Majesty because of what happened at the palace banquet last time. He probably also knows that his actions all these years have been a bit too much. Instead of waiting for His Majesty to settle the score, he might as well take the initiative to express his attitude and take the opportunity to step down. That way, he can still have a good ending. When Shen Yu woke up, it was already noon the next day. Shang Junlin wasn't around. When she helped him wash up, she said that His Majesty had specifically ordered that no one should disturb him. Food was also prepared at all times, just waiting for him to wake up. Shen Yu wasn't that angry about this matter, but he still felt a little depressed. Moreover, when he woke up, the discomfort in his body didn't lessen, but became even worse. Fortunately, he used his left hand last night, which didn't affect the use of his right hand. He suspected that Shang Junlin did it on purpose, even thinking about which hand to use in advance. Needless to say, his legs were sore from just taking 2 steps, and there was always a strange feeling. This was the most unbearable part for Shen Yu. He didn't need to look to know that it was definitely red. When he woke up, it was ice cold. Medicine must have been applied. The small kitchen listened to someone's orders, and all the dishes today were light. Shen Yu poked the porridge in his bowl and said, Mu Shi, bring me the storybook that Eunuch Meng sent last time. Yes. There were a few books that talked about men and men in the Mandarin book. Shen Yu only took a few glances at them last time. For his own sake, Shen Yu felt that he should study more. When Shang Junlin came to Yuzhong Palace, he saw that the place where he usually wrote memorials was full of storybooks. He walked over and picked up a book, flipped through 2 pages, and silently put it down. It was all about, and it was full of pictures and text. Why is Gue Jun reading this? Your Majesty, why don't you take a look? Shen Yu stuffed a book into Shang Junlin's hands. Shang Junlin pressed his hand on the spine of the book and asked doubtfully, Why? I've read in the book that the recipient's face is full of joy. Why does it hurt so much for me? Shen Yu looked at Shang Junlin with his eyes wide open, as if he really didn't understand. However, Shang Junlin didn't miss the teasing look that flashed through Shen Yu's eyes. Your Majesty, why do I feel so much pain? He was just short of saying that his technique was too bad. Shang Junlin glanced at the book in Shen Yu's hands and said, Why don't you try this position with Gue Jun next time? Chapter 36. Not so good. Shan Yu said in his heart. Shan Yu didn't know what switch had been turned on in Shang Junlin, but he felt that this person was completely different from before. Shan Yu silently put away the storybook and didn't intend to provoke Shang Junlin anymore. If he continued, he would most likely be the one to suffer. His legs and hands were still hurting now. He couldn't let it happen again. Noticing that Shan Yu's left hand was not flexible, Shang Junlin reached out and held it. Are you still uncomfortable? The warmth spread along his fingers, and Shan Yu's fingertips trembled. Isn't your Majesty asking the obvious? How can your Majesty be so delicate? Shang Junlin laughed. It's not that I'm delicate, Shan Yu retorted. If you want to blame someone, you have to blame your Majesty for taking too long. Even if it wasn't me, others wouldn't be able to bear it. Shang Junlin's breath paused, and he rubbed Shan Yu's fingers with moderate strength, Zhen will give your majesty a massage. Shan Yu lazily lay on the soft couch. One of his hands was held in the palm of the black-robed man, who rubbed it with moderate strength. Being served by the emperor like this, he didn't feel the slightest bit uneasy. Your Majesty, how is Prince Huayu? Seeing that the atmosphere was becoming more and more ambiguous, Shan Yu had to start another topic. It's no big deal now. I don't understand why his attitude towards me is different from others. It can't be because of our relationship, right? But he didn't see Prince Huayu's attitude towards Shang Junlin that good. Maybe it's because your Majesty reminded him of some past events. Could it be that Prince Huayu withdrew from the fight for the throne back then for some other reason? Shan Yu was interested. There are many secrets hidden in the palace. Outsiders only know that Prince Huayu gave up the position due to illness, but they don't know that something else happened before this. Seeing that Shan Yu was interested, Shang Junlin slowly said, "At that time, Prince Huayu had a close relationship with a man of unknown origin. The late emperor took advantage of this and plotted to kill that man. He then pointed the spearhead at another strong competitor at that time, causing them to fall out. In the end, one died and the other was injured, and the late emperor reaped the benefits." Shen Yu, how did Prince Huayu find out about the real murderer? Does your Majesty know what kind of man Prince Huayu likes? Shang Junlin, that man didn't leave any information behind. All relevant records have been destroyed by Prince Huayu. As for what that man looks like, it's probably nothing. After all, the time between the man's appearance and his departure was too short, and his whereabouts had always been very secretive. If it wasn't for Prince Huayu, even fewer people would know of his existence. I don't know how Prince Huayu found out about the real murderer of that man's death. Judging from Prince Huayu's plan, he should have found out soon after the late emperor ascended the throne. The whole thing always had a kind of inexplicable strangeness. Shan Yu didn't know that the royal family had such a secret in his previous life. The book he read after his death also revolved around Shen Qingran's point of view, and didn't talk about this. Does your Majesty want to continue investigating? Shang Junlin nodded. This person hides very deeply, and we don't know what his real purpose is. I suspect that this matter of Prince Huayu is also related to what happened that year. But Prince Huayu refuses to say. Shen Yu frowned, can't say, or doesn't want to say. Why did the person behind the scenes plan this? No one knew the answer. The matter of how to deal with Prince Huayu was put on the agenda. They couldn't get any useful information from Prince Huayu, and they couldn't keep not giving the courtiers and the other members of the royal family an explanation. In the first morning court after the new year, Shang Junlin let people announce Prince Huayu's crime. Everyone was shocked. No one would have thought that Prince Huayu, who had always kept a low profile, would actually hide his true intentions so deeply. No one would have thought that he would be able to plan for so many years, just so that he could one day avenge his lover who had died in vain. No one would have thought that he would be so crazy as to do something that would confuse the royal bloodline. Compared to other things, confusing the royal bloodline was more unacceptable. Immediately, someone wrote a letter asking for a thorough investigation. Your Majesty, this matter is of great importance, and must be thoroughly investigated. Prime Minister Wang Chengxi stood up. For a time, Shang Junlin's half-brothers of the royal family felt insecure. Prime Minister Wang, you're wrong. How can such a big scandal be made known to everyone? Someone was dissatisfied. Is the royal family's face more important, or the purity of the royal bloodline more important? Prime Minister Wang asked. But, do we want to let the world know that the late emperor was cuckolded by so many people? The assistant minister of the Ministry of Justice hesitated. There's no need to be so direct, Prime Minister Wang replied. On this issue, the courtiers started a new round of quarrels. Some thought that this was a serious matter, and must be investigated strictly. Others thought that it was not appropriate to make a big fuss because it concerned the royal family's face. Shang Junlin sat high up and looked down. The courtiers argued. After the coronation, no one could see the emperor's expression clearly. Your Majesty, please make a decision. In the end, it was Prime Minister Wang who put an end to the argument. In that case, this matter will be handed over to Prime Minister Wang. This subject obeys. King Yu received the news when he was grounded. His first reaction was disbelief. He grabbed the shoulder of the person who reported the news and said sternly, "How is this possible? How can this prince not be my father's child? Your Highness, don't be anxious. This matter has not been decided yet. Moreover, Your Highness and His Majesty look alike. There's definitely no problem with your background." Yu Wangsong walked back and forth anxiously in the study room. If there was a problem with his bloodline, everything he had planned would go up in smoke. No matter how good his reputation was, no matter how many people supported him, once they found out that he wasn't the son of the previous emperor, everything he had would go up in smoke. Just because he was not the late emperor's bloodline, those old foxes would not allow him to ascend to that position. However, he could not do anything about this matter. He did not have much influence in the capital and could not go against the imperial court. This prince was too anxious. There is still no evidence to prove that this prince is not the late emperor's bloodline. This prince cannot panic. Taking a deep breath, King Yu tried to calm himself down. Your Highness is right. Your Highness does not need to worry. Everyone can see the similarities between you and the current emperor. Moreover, Concubine Li has always been doted on by His Majesty. Concubine Mother will definitely not do such a shameful thing. King Yu rubbed his temples. Continue to pay attention to the movements outside. If there's anything wrong, immediately inform this prince. Such a big case happened right after the New Year. Everyone's mood was very complicated, especially the princes left behind by the late emperor. During the late period of the late emperor's reign, he was muddle-headed and incompetent. For the sake of the throne, the ambitious princes fought until their heads bled. Only after Shang Junlin forcefully intervened did the internal strife stop. The outcome of the struggle for the throne was also tragic. Shang Junlin killed many princes and ministers in one breath. Because of this, the imperial court, which had finally calmed down, almost fell into chaos again. It was only because of Shang Junlin's strong methods that he suppressed them with force that the internal strife was stopped again. The ministers who experienced the internal strife were very glad that it was not any of the princes who ascended to the throne in the end. Who would have thought that the late emperor favored the third prince, the seventh prince, the seventh prince, and the 14th prince, were not his biological sons. Speaking of which, Prince Huayu was also very powerful. Without batting an eyelid, he caused a large grassland to grow on top of the late emperor's head. The late emperor had many children. As the investigation deepened, more and more princes were found to have problems with their bloodlines. Especially the younger ones, almost all of them were found to be accurate. Every day, new developments were sent to the imperial palace. When Shang Junlin dealt with matters, he would not hide it from Shen Yu. Shen Yu also learned a lot of information from him. Is there no problem with Prince Yu's background? Shen Yu did not find it strange. If Prince Yu was not the late emperor's child, he would not be similar to Shang Junlin. Your Highness seems to pay more attention to Prince Yu? Isn't Your Highness very clear? He lied to me first. I don't want him to have a good life. It's that simple. Shan Yu was clear in his heart that Shang Junlin probably knew about the matter between him and Prince Yu. Even if he did not know, he did not mind telling him. Then Your Highness will be disappointed. Prince Yu's mother, Imperial Concubine Li, was one of the few people in the late emperor's harem who was loyal to the late emperor. Your Highness, tell me about it. Even though he was on the same side as Prince Yu in his previous life, Shen Yu still knew very little about Imperial Concubine Li. The late emperor had many concubines, but there were not many who truly won his heart. Imperial Concubine Li was one of them. Imperial Concubine Li was a very smart person. She did not fight or snatch. Among the people in the harem, only she did not change. Before the late emperor passed away, Imperial Concubine Li volunteered to die with him. The late emperor was moved and took care of Prince Yu a lot. That was the late emperor's last favor to Prince Yu as his father. Because of this, Prince Yu was able to survive that turmoil. At this moment, Shen Yu finally understood why Prince Yu always wanted that position. It was because someone had planted a seed in his heart a long time ago. With nutrients, the seed grew with the passage of time. One day, it would play the role that the person who planted the seed wanted. Your Highness, have you found anything new from your investigation of the vassal kings? Your Highness wants to ask about Prince Yu, right? Shang Junlin shook his head. I haven't found anything that's too out of line. If you want to investigate, it's just some minor issues. Shan Yu also knew that Prince Yu was still very cautious at this time. Before he was completely certain, he would not reveal his true ambitions to outsiders. Who could have thought that the always cultured and refined Prince Yu, who stood aloof from worldly affairs, His Highness Prince had always wanted that position? Before the late Emperor passed away, he should have left quite a few things for Prince Yu. Shan Yu pondered. Don't look at how the late Emperor was muddle-headed, he was still someone who had been an emperor for decades. If he had the heart to protect Prince Yu, he would definitely have left something for Prince Yu to protect himself or even arouse his ambitions. Your Highness, you don't have to spend too much time on Prince Yu. If you have the time, you might as well think about when you can do what you promised me. Shang Junlin didn't like to hear Shan Yu mention the two words, Prince Yu. Sensing the man's silent approach, Shan Yu silently moved to the side. After joking and complaining about it last time, Shang Junlin would always hold on to this matter and even glorify it by saying, "You'll feel better if you practice more." Shan Yu tried to change the topic. Your Highness, we're talking about serious matters. I think that Your Highness should be more concerned about the things between us. Shang Junlin looked calm, but there was a terrible storm hidden inside. He stretched out a hand to stop Shan Yu from retreating and leaned forward. Shan Yu used a book to stop the approaching man. There was a playful look on his face. Your Highness, did you eat the newly made plum snacks in the kitchen? Why is it so sour? Hearing the meaning of Shan Yu's words, Shang Junlin raised his eyebrows. Does Your Highness want to taste it personally? Did I eat it? Chapter 37. After shooting himself in the foot twice, Shan Yu didn't say anything. He thought to himself, why did His Majesty change? His 2 points are not as funny as before. The two of them read for a while. Shan Yu suddenly thought of two things. Your Majesty, it's spring. Shall we go out for a walk? Shan Yu blinked. Of course, if Your Majesty doesn't have time, the two of us can go. You want to go out? Shang Junlin asked. Shan Yu held his head and nodded. The scenery in spring is very good. I go to the country house every year. If I can't go this year, it will be a pity. Shang Junlin, what country house? Shan Yu, it's one of the few things my mother left me. Your Majesty, you know what kind of life I have in the Count of Zhenbei's residence. Sometimes, I feel that it's better to live in the country house without those troublesome things. Before Shan Yu entered the palace, Shang Junlin asked the hidden dragon guards to investigate. As Shan Yu said, as the only legitimate son of the Count of Zhenbei's residence, Shan Yu did not have a comfortable life in the Count of Zhenbei's residence. For example, his wife and her son, who was about the same age as Shan Yu, were there. Shan Yu's existence was a mistake. Shang Junlin stroked Shan Yu's long hair and said softly, Guijun, don't worry. No one can bully you in the future. He could not change anything in the past, but he would control everything now and in the future. He would not allow anyone to bully Shan Yu under his wings. He knew that Shan Yu would live in a certain country house for a while every year. To outsiders, he said that he was going to a quiet place to recuperate. But as the legitimate son of the Count of Zhenbei's residence, why did he have to move out just to recuperate? It was just an excuse to the outside world. As for the real reason, only the person himself knew. Not knowing what Shang Junlin thought, Shan Yu saw a touch of heartache in his eyes. Shan Yu moved closer to Shang Junlin and asked, Did His Majesty agree? Shang Junlin's eyes darkened as he spoke. I can agree, but do you have anything to say? Shouldn't Your Majesty be unobtainable by riches and honor and unyielding by force? Shan Yu pretended not to understand the man's hint and opened her 2 pairs of innocent eyes. Your Majesty, I'm also thinking for you. Spring is coming, and everyone will go out for a walk in the spring to relax. Your Majesty has been busy with official affairs for 2 days, so you should find some time to relax. Relax yourself. Your Highness also knows that we are very busy. Shang Junlin's voice was emotionless. Shang Junlin hadn't had a good rest for several days because there were several matters piling up and waiting to be resolved, and it also involved the matter of mixing up the royal bloodline. Political affairs are never finished. Shen Yu pressed down on the memorial in Shang Junlin's hand. Your Majesty has so many officials. Some matters should be left to them. Why do you have to do everything yourself? Your Highness is right. Although he said this, Shang Junlin didn't put down the memorial in his hand. The 2 large desks were originally filled with novels by Shen Yu. Shang Junlin's memorials only took up a small part of the space. Later, Shen Yu arranged the books into 2 stacks to give Shang Junlin more space. Shen Yu also knew that Shang Junlin's habits couldn't be changed with just a few words. He stopped the topic and said, "Since your Majesty is busy, I'll go by myself." Your Highness wants to leave us alone in the palace? Shang Junlin raised his eyebrows and looked over. What does your Majesty want? Your Highness should know that with your status, you can't leave the palace often. Your Highness should get used to living in the palace and not think about leaving the palace all day long. Shang Junlin's tone was light. Your Majesty means that you won't accompany me and won't allow me to go by myself, right? Shen Yu suddenly stood up and turned to leave. Okay, I understand. I will obediently stay in Yuzhong Palace and won't go anywhere. Shen Yu did what he said. Since then, he didn't mention leaving the palace. However, the people serving them could feel that the atmosphere between them was different from before. It was a lot colder, especially Shan Yu's attitude towards Shang Junlin. Anyone with a discerning eye could see that something was wrong. However, Shang Junlin himself didn't seem to notice anything. Every day, except for going to court, he stayed in Yuzhong Palace as usual. The people serving them didn't understand what the 2 masters were thinking. They only hoped that the 2 could reconcile quickly. They didn't want to live in a cold atmosphere every day. The news of Yuzhong Palace quickly spread outside the palace. It wasn't surprising. Yuzhong Palace was too high profile some time ago and was watched by countless eyes. Instead of saying that the news was accidentally spread outside the palace, it was more accurate to say that it was spread out with deliberate connivance. The ministers gathered together and didn't understand why the 2 people who were inseparable 2 days ago suddenly quarreled with each other. The shield was broken. The emperor's favor is just a matter of a few words. If you ask me, Shen Guijun shouldn't have been so arrogant in the first place. Yes, people's hearts are fickle. Ordinary people are like this, let alone the emperor. If you ask me, I'm afraid that Shen Guijun's favor will end here. I don't think so. For this news, most people had the mentality of watching a good show. After all, it had nothing to do with them. The relationship between Shen Yu and Shang Junlin didn't affect them much. The 2 people who had a bigger reaction to this news were the King of Yu and the Count of Zhenbei. The King of Yu accidentally learned of this news when he was investigating the movements in the imperial court. His mood was very complicated. Shan Yu had been showing off in front of him for only a few days, but he had fallen out of favor in the blink of an eye. He was somewhat happy in his heart, but also somewhat dissatisfied in his heart. The reaction of the people in the Count of Zhenbei was completely opposite. The Count of Zhenbei couldn't wait to enter the palace immediately and ask Shen Yu what had happened. Shen Qingran and his son were very happy. The sooner Shen Yu fell out of favor, the happier they would be. These people didn't know that the emperor and the emperor didn't get along with each other because the emperor had fallen out of favor. If they really wanted to investigate, it was better to say that the emperor had fallen out of favor. Yes, the palace servants serving the 2 people found that the emperor's attitude towards the emperor was still the same as before. What was different was the emperor's attitude towards the emperor. Young master, why? Mu she endured for a few days and finally couldn't help but ask. Shan Yu loosened the soil for the Junling in the flower pot. He raised this grass carefully and it lived steadily until spring. You want to ask why I have a cold war with the emperor? Mu Shi nodded and looked at Shan Yu worriedly. Young master, you live in the palace. Don't you need to treat the emperor well? Didn't you not want me to enter the palace and didn't think highly of the emperor? Shan Yu put down the small shovel that was loosening the soil and raised his eyebrows. You betrayed so quickly? I originally thought that the emperor was no different from other men. After entering the palace, she could feel how the emperor treated Shen Yu. It could be said that it was Shang Junlin's behavior that changed Mu Shi's view of him. The emperor is naturally different from other people. Shen Yu pinched the slender leaves of the Junling. But Mu Shi, you have to know that 2 tastes of indulgence will make a man bad. If you want to be with the emperor for a long time, you must go through various kinds of running in, not 2 tastes of accommodation. Shang Junlin was right. Both of them were very qualified emperors. Similarly, he also had the obvious characteristics of an emperor. After living 2 lives, Shan Yu didn't intend to force himself for anyone, even if that person was the emperor. Mu Shi didn't quite understand. She didn't know what happened between Shang Junlin and Shen Yu. Seeing that her young master had an idea, she didn't ask anymore. Shan Yu's mood was a bit complicated. He always felt that Shang Junlin didn't know what he cared about. Perhaps it was because he didn't care much about him in the past, so Shang Junlin didn't have too many opinions about what he did. Shen Yu also liked this way of getting along. They kept 2 lines and didn't interfere with each other. But he didn't know when Shang Junlin crossed that line. He began to try to control Shen Yu. Even if it wasn't obvious, Shen Yu still felt it. Shen Yu didn't want to be controlled by others. Ever since he knew that the world he existed in was 2 books and that he was controlled by an invisible consciousness to fall in love with the King of Yu, he felt disgusted by the feeling of being controlled. He wanted to retreat to safety with Shang Junlin, but it was obvious that Shang Junlin didn't want to. Shang Junlin looked at the booklet for a while and threw the pen to the side in annoyance. Is your Majesty worried about the matter of your Highness? Eunuch Meng had served Shang Junlin for so many years, but he had never seen Shang Junlin worried like this. He saw the change in Shan Yu's attitude towards Shang Junlin, but he didn't know what happened between the 2. The emperor didn't say anything, and as 2 servants, it wasn't good to take the initiative to ask. Zhen can't figure out why the emperor is angry. Shang Junlin rubbed his eyebrows. It can't be because Zhen didn't agree to accompany him out of the palace, right? Shang Junlin didn't feel that he had done anything wrong. He was the emperor, and Shan Yu was the emperor. Yuzhong Palace was their home. What was the point of thinking about the outside of the palace all day? Last time, Shan Yu wanted to go out of the palace to see the fireworks, and he took him there. Only a few days had passed, and now he wanted to go out of the palace for a walk. Would there be a new reason to leave the palace in a few days? Why don't your Majesty directly ask the emperor? Your Majesty and the emperor are husband and husband. It's not good for outsiders to intervene in the problems between husband and wife, Eunuch Meng suggested. The word husband pleased Shang Junlin. He stood up. You're right. If Zhen thinks too much and can't get to the point, it's useless. It's better to ask directly. His Majesty has arrived. Shen Yu arranged the flower pot properly, and then stood up calmly. He stood up to greet him. You don't have to be so polite, Gue Jun. Shang Junlin quickly stepped forward and stopped Shen Yu. All of you leave. Shang Junlin waved his hand twice, and the palace servants retreated one after another. Mu Shi looked at the room worriedly, and then she was pulled away by Eunuch Meng. Eunuch Meng, will there be any problems? Mu Shi stood anxiously outside the room, unwilling to leave. Miss Mu Shi, don't worry. The matters between His Majesty and the Emperor have to be solved by themselves. Others can't intervene, Eunuch Meng comforted her. You should trust the Emperor. He knows what to do. Eunuch Meng had a clear view of this confrontation. He clearly saw that the one who had the upper hand was the inconspicuous Shen Guijun. Their Majesty had lost completely. What is your Majesty doing? Shen Yu looked at the empty room and asked. Zhen apologizes to the Emperor for what happened before, Shang Junlin helped Shen Yu to sit down. Don't be angry with Zhen, Guijun. I'm not angry with your majesty. As the emperor, how can I be angry with your majesty? Shen Yu sat down obediently. There was a smile on his face, but the smile didn't reach his eyes. You, tell me directly what I did wrong. Shang Junlin squatted down and looked into Shen Yu's clear eyes. You, tell me, what did I do wrong? Chapter 38. Because of his posture, Shan Yu was a bit taller than Shang Junlin. He lowered his head and met the man's eyes. There was no anger, no dissatisfaction. There was only a faint confusion and indulgence that could drown a person. Shan Yu couldn't say what he wanted to say. Your Majesty, please stand up. No one would believe that the man who was half squatting in front of Shan Yu was the Emperor of Dehuan, famous for his cruelty and ruthlessness. Is you still angry at Zhen? Shang Junlin didn't move. Zhen doesn't know how to get along with people. If there's anything that makes you uncomfortable, you must tell Zhen. No matter how angry Shen Yu was, he couldn't get angry. Shen Yu wasn't really angry. He just wanted to use this opportunity to distance himself from Shang Junlin. Actually, I'm not that angry. Shen Yu looked into the man's dark eyes. Your Majesty, I just hope that in your Majesty's heart, I will first be Shen Yu, then Shen Guijun. The former meant that he belonged to himself. The latter meant that he belonged to Shang Junlin. If it's the former, what will Guijun do? If it's the latter, what will happen? Shang Junlin asked. If it's the former, your Majesty may have to endure my anger from time to time. If it's the latter, your Majesty will get a qualified Guijun. But there was nothing more. Understanding the meaning of Shen Yu's words, Shang Junlin said, Zhen will pay attention in the future. In Zhen's eyes, a Yu will always be a Yu. Shen Yu didn't know how to feel about Shang Junlin's choice. If Shang Junlin chose the latter, he could draw a line between him and Shang Junlin without any reluctance. But Shang Junlin chose the former. And he didn't even think about it. This meant that Shang Junlin had always thought this way. That was why he gave this answer at the first moment. Shang Junlin had made his choice, but what about him? Shen Yu silently described Shang Junlin's facial features in his heart. The throbbing of his first meeting with Shang Junlin was triggered again. In this life, what would happen between him and Shang Junlin? Shen Yu slowly lowered his eyes. His voice was as light as a feather. I know. What about me? Shang Junlin gently pinched Shen Yu's chin. What am I in a Yu's heart? Her Majesty is Her Majesty. Shen Yu looked away. His Majesty was different from others and unique. Your Majesty, can you get up now? Shen Yu moved to the side of the soft couch to make room for Shang Junlin. Shang Junlin moved from Lu Rushan to Shen Yu's side and took the initiative to talk to Shen Yu about the progress of Prince Huayu's matter. Prince Huayu is very cooperative. According to the list he gave, it has been confirmed that most of the princes are not of the late emperor's blood. There are still some princes who are not of the late emperor's blood. Speaking of his biological father being cuckolded, Shang Junlin's tone didn't fluctuate at all. He didn't have any brotherly feelings for the late emperor's children. It's been decades. It shouldn't be easy to confirm. Things like blood were always the easiest to tamper with and the most difficult to find out. The method of blood identification is not reliable. Shen Yu reminded. I know. The result of blood identification is only one of the supporting methods. The real confirmation is not based on this method. Shang Junlin held Shen Yu's fingers and played with them. This is all thanks to Prince Huayu. He left enough evidence when he did those things. Shen Yu was shocked. He left evidence? Wasn't he afraid of being discovered? He probably also wanted to be discovered by the late emperor. Who would have thought that the late emperor didn't suspect anything at all? Shang Junlin was speechless. There were many beauties in the late emperor's harem and many children. He didn't care about those who didn't look like him. He was only interested in pleasure. In a situation where there were new beauties all the time, except for some who were especially favored, He couldn't remember how many times he did it in a year. The late emperor really had a big heart. Shen Yu didn't know what to say. It was noon. The two chatted for a while, and Shen Yu was a little sleepy. Shang Junlin looked at the sky and stopped talking. You should take a nap. What about His Majesty? Shen Yu nestled in the man's warm arms and didn't want to move. Although it was the beginning of spring, the weather was still not warm. It didn't change much compared to before the new year. Shen Yu's body was cold, so she had to make the room very warm. Shang Junlin was young and energetic, so sometimes he would feel hot. Every time this happened, Shen Yu especially liked to stay close to Shang Junlin. He was like a human-shaped big heater. I'll stay here with you. Shen Yu was satisfied. She half closed her eyes and said softly, Your Majesty, carry me to the bed. Okay. As soon as Shang Junlin finished speaking, Shen Yu felt herself being lifted into the air. A pair of strong arms held her firmly. Then, the man started walking. After putting Shen Yu on the bed, Shang Junlin didn't call the palace servants. He personally took off Shen Yu's outer clothes and put her under the quilt. Shen Yu listened to the rustling sound of clothes rubbing against each other beside the bed. Her consciousness gradually fell into chaos. In her sleep, she felt the source of heat approaching. Shen Yu couldn't help but lean over. She found a comfortable position in the man's arms and fell into a deep sleep. Shang Junlin looked down at the young man lying in his arms. He slowly approached the young man and planted a light kiss on his forehead. Shang Junlin didn't have the habit of taking a nap. He quietly looked at the young man sleeping in his arms. His eyes were full of tenderness that he didn't realize. Your Majesty. After an unknown amount of time, Eunuch Meng carefully opened the door and said softly. Shang Junlin gently got up, casually put on his clothes, and walked out of the room. He asked, What's the matter? Prime Minister Wang wants to see you. He said it's urgent. Eunuch Meng lowered his voice to avoid waking Shen Yu. Let him wait in the imperial study. I'll be there soon. Yes. Shang Junlin didn't leave for long. He returned to Yuzhong Palace before Shan Yu woke up. When Shan Yu woke up, Shang Junlin was sitting by the bed and reading a booklet. Has Your Majesty been sitting here the whole time? Shan Yu's voice was low and hoarse from just waking up. It was very different from usual. No, I just went out. Shang Junlin put down the booklet. Is there something important? If there is something important, Your Majesty doesn't have to stay here. Shen Yu sat up and slowly began to put on her clothes. It's about Prince Huayu. The Prime Minister said that he found some men who are suspected to be the fathers of the former princes. This was the reason why Prime Minister Wang had entered the palace to seek an audience. They had all tacitly agreed that the people who had cheated on the previous emperor were no longer around. When they suddenly found out that those people were still alive, they didn't know how to continue. Prime Minister Wang had no choice but to personally enter the palace to seek an audience and ask Shang Junlin to make a decision. Shen Yu instantly woke up and said in disbelief, Those people are still alive? What was Prince Huayu thinking? He couldn't have wanted to take these people to see the former emperor and directly anger him to death. Shang Junlin, I didn't expect Prince Huayu to keep those people alive. Shen Yu, what about those men? They were originally, how did they enter the palace to meet with the concubines? Even with Prince Huayu's help, it's not so easy to escape unscathed. Shang Junlin, I'm afraid only Prince Huayu himself knows about this matter. Prime Minister Wang was mainly responsible for solving the problem of the former emperor's bloodline. The one who dealt with Prince Huayu's matter was Lord Feng, who was in charge of Censor Zhang's case last time. Lord Feng exhausted all means, but didn't get any useful information from Prince Huayu. Aren't you just relying on the fact that we don't dare to torture you? This official wants to see how long you can be stubborn for. After another interrogation, Lord Feng was so angry that he almost scolded. If it weren't for Prince Huayu's poor health, why would they torture him like this? He still won't say anything? A majestic voice sounded. Lord Feng and the others turned around and respectfully saluted, Your Majesty. When he saw the young man in an indigo cloak standing beside Shang Junlin, Lord Fong hesitated for a moment before opening his mouth. "Your Majesty." The rest of the people looked at each other and saluted with a confused face. "Get up." Shang Junlin led Shen Yu into the prison. Was this the rumored Shen Guijun who was extremely favored by His Majesty? Many people were curious and couldn't help but quietly look at the young man walking beside the black-clothed emperor. The young man was almost completely covered in a cloak, and only his white and delicate chin could be seen through the hat. Aware of these secret glances, Shang Junlin looked back with a slight warning. Everyone suddenly withdrew their gazes and looked down, not daring to look at him carelessly. Lord Fong, who took in this scene, sighed in his heart. His Majesty obviously cares a lot about Shen Guijun. I don't know where the rumors outside the palace came from, but looking at the way they get along, it doesn't seem like Shen Guijun has fallen out of favor. "I have something to ask Prince Huayu. You can leave first." "Yes." After everyone left, Shang Junlin helped Shen Yu take off his hat. Shen Yu walked to Prince Huayu. "Prince Huayu, do you still remember me?" Prince Huayu's condition was worse than the last time they met. Shen Yu could feel that his vitality was flowing away rapidly. Rather than saying that Prince Huayu was dying of illness, it was better to say that he was giving up on himself. Once a seriously ill person lost his desire to live, his vitality would be like a flood that had opened the floodgates. It flowed quickly, and no medicine could cure it. The child of Duke Xunbei? Prince Huayu struggled to open his eyes. He didn't even look at Shang Junlin, but stared at Shen Yu. "I told you last time that no one in the imperial family is good. Look, aren't you abandoned by your good Majesty? Where did you hear these false rumors?" Shen Yu held Shang Junlin's hand and waved it in front of Prince Huayu. "We are very good, Prince Huayu doesn't need to worry." Prince Huayu's face was dirty. He squinted his eyes and looked up from their hands. After a long while, he withdrew his gaze with disinterest. "Okay, what do you want to ask me this time? I advise you not to waste your energy. Isn't the matter very clear? Just punish me according to the law. Living one more day is one more day of suffering for me." Shen Yu and Shang Junlin looked at each other, knowing that it was unlikely that they would be able to find out the person behind the scenes. Shen Yu thought about it and asked an unexpected question. "Does Prince Huayu know my mother?" "I don't know her." "I haven't said who my mother is yet. How can Prince Huayu answer so simply?" Shan Yu had been paying attention to Prince Huayu's expression after asking, so he didn't miss the flash of surprise on his face. Prince Huayu actually knew his mother. Shan Yu's grip on Shang Junlin's hand tightened. Sensing the change in his mood, Shang Junlin held his hand tightly in comfort, as if he was comforting him silently. Shan Yu calmed down and continued to ask, wanting to find out some clues about his mother. For 2 lifetimes, he still didn't know what kind of person his mother was. It would be a lie to say that he didn't care. However, no matter how Shen Yu asked, Prince Huayu refused to speak. Left with no choice, Shan Yu had to give up. Since Prince Huayu doesn't want to answer this question, can you solve another doubt for me? Shen Yu lowered his eyes. Why did Prince Huayu keep those men? Because I want to take these people to my good brother one day and tell him that the children he dotes on the most are not his biological children. Not only that, I want to make him doubt that all his children are not his biological children. I want to make him feel that his life is a joke. Prince Huayu seemed to have gone mad. It's best to do it when he is terminally ill, lying on the dragon bed and unable to move. He can only stare at me with his eyes wide open. One is to identify which prince's father he is, and which prince's father he is. Ha 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 ha. That scene must be very interesting. What a pity, he died before my plan could be implemented. How could he die? I spent decades preparing such a big show for him. How could he die without even looking at it? Chapter 39. Hearing Prince Huayu's words, Shan Yu looked at Shang Junlin worriedly. No matter what the relationship between the two of them was, the late emperor was still Shang Junlin's father. In front of the child, It would definitely make people feel uncomfortable to talk about how he had given his father a green hat. Shang Junlin's expression didn't show any abnormality. Seeing Shan Yu looking at him, he whispered, Don't worry. To be honest, I also want to see the scene described by Prince Huayu. Shang Junlin really didn't have the slightest bit of father-son relationship with the late emperor. Since ancient times, the father was benevolent and the son was filial. If the father didn't give the son love but killing intent time and time again, no one would have any feelings of admiration for such a father. What's more, Shang Junlin lowered his eyes to hide the rolling black emotions in his eyes. There was still a blood feud between him and the previous emperor that was separated by an entire mother's clan. When Prince Huayu had said enough, he slowly stopped and looked at Shen Yu with his turbid eyes. Shang Junlin is my good brother's son. He might be like my good brother. You little kid, don't throw your heart at him. Shan Yu didn't know why Prince Huayu still refused to give up persuading him at this time. Just as he was about to speak, Prince Huayu continued. Don't take it lightly. Before my good brother ascended the throne, he was also deeply in love with Shang Junlin's mother. But look at the result. No matter how many vows he made, it can't keep up with the speed of change in a person's heart. The late emperor ascended the throne at the same time as the empress. The deep love between the empress and the empress was envied by many people. But no matter how deep the love is, it can't beat the passage of time. In just 5 years, the vows were completely forgotten. If there is a first betrayal, there will be countless more. I tried to persuade her at that time, but she didn't listen to me. She plunged into the carefully woven gentle trap and dragged the whole family down. Are you done, Prince Huayu? Shang Junlin's cold voice sounded. Half of that person's blood flows in your veins. Do you really think you can escape the shackles of your bloodline? Take a look at the children left behind by the late emperor. Which one of them didn't harm others? Don't think that I'm trying to scare you. Nature is something that can't be changed. In the blood of the Shang clan, there is a sense of fickleness. What about Prince Huayu? Haven't you not changed after all these years? People are people. It's because we can restrain our nature. A normal person knows what to do and what not to do. People who don't know how to behave shouldn't use nature as an excuse. Shan Yu disagreed with Prince Huayu's words. Your words are interesting, perhaps. As if his last breath of life had dissipated, Prince Huayu became even more dispirited. You don't have to waste your time with me. Let's end this matter here, don't continue investigating. After saying this, Prince Huayu closed his eyes, unwilling to speak again. Shang Junlin took Shen Yu to vent his anger. When they passed by Lord Fong, he said, There's no need to interrogate him. Lord Fong didn't understand, but still respectfully responded, Yes. Walking out of the prison built with iron walls, they walked towards the warm spring scenery. The warmth brought by the sun dispelled the chill brought by the prison. Finally feeling the warmth, Shen Yu breathed a sigh of relief. It's still more comfortable outside. I already told you that the dark prison is cold and that you shouldn't follow me. You didn't listen. If I didn't go, Prince Huayu definitely wouldn't say anything. Your Majesty, Prince Huayu seems to really know my mother. Finally finding a clue, Shan Yu didn't want to give up. I've sent people to investigate Shan Yu before, but they didn't find much useful information. According to the palace servants who knew her, her temperament suddenly changed one day. I don't know if it was because she heard some news. Shang Junlin said. Presumably, the watershed was the day when the current Shan Yu crossed over. The original Shan Yu might know something, but the current Shan Yu might not. Your Majesty, where is Shen Yu now? The last time they met, Shen Yu promised to save Shen Yu. In order not to break his promise, Shan Yu told Shang Junlin about this matter. As for where Shang Junlin arranged for Shen Yu to be, Shen Yu didn't ask. Shang Junlin, I sent her to the old imperial concubine. Her temperament is too jumpy, and it's easy for her to cause trouble elsewhere. Shen Yu, the old imperial concubine? Shang Junlin, she's one of Imperial Grandfather's concubines. I was indebted to her when I was young, so I found a secluded place in the palace for her to live. Your Majesty, don't mind Prince Huayu's words. Shen Yu stopped and grabbed Shang Junlin's hand. According to Prince Huayu's words, my father is like Duke Xunbei. Do you think I'm the same as Duke Xunbei? A Yu and Duke Xunbei are naturally different. Shang Junlin answered without hesitation. In his eyes, Duke Xunbei couldn't be compared to Shen Yu's finger. So, Your Majesty is also different from the late emperor. Shen Yu didn't want Shang Junlin to be traumatized by Prince Huayu's words. Your Majesty is only Your Majesty. What happened to the late emperor has nothing to do with Your Majesty. A Yu is worried that I'll think too much. Shang Junlin gently clasped Shen Yu's hand in his palm. Don't worry. I already know what kind of person the late emperor is, and I won't allow myself to be like him. After the efforts of Prime Minister Wang and Lord Fang, the mighty case of Prince Huayu finally came to an end. The ministers had a fierce quarrel about whether to announce the truth of Prince Huayu's case to the public. Some felt that it must be announced, while others felt that it shouldn't be announced. After all, it was related to the royal family's reputation. If it was announced, the royal family's deterrence would be greatly reduced, which was extremely detrimental to the stability of the royal family's regime. Shang Junlin was annoyed by their quarrel, so he simply announced that the court was dismissed. Your Majesty. After the court was dismissed, Prime Minister Wang asked to see him alone. How should we deal with those men? Shang Junlin, Prime Minister, what do you think? Prime Minister Wang, I think that these men deliberately mixed up the royal bloodline, and should be punished. Shang Junlin, since Prime Minister has an idea, then we'll do as you say. Prime Minister Wang, yes, there's one more thing. How should we deal with the rest of the people who were found not to be princes? Shang Junlin, if they didn't commit any crime, they will be stripped of their royal status and demoted to white coat, and their 3 generations can't be officials. As for the details, Prime Minister, it's up to you. Prime Minister Wang took the order and left. In any case, those who occupied the royal status and were not the sons of the late emperor needed to return the status that didn't belong to them. Those dead princes also needed to be moved out of the imperial mausoleum and buried elsewhere. After handing over the matter, Shang Junlin no longer asked about the matter. The mistake made by the late emperor should not be paid for by him. After some discussion, they finally didn't announce all of Prince Huayu's crimes to the public, and only selected a portion that was convenient to disclose. In particular, the matter of the late emperor's sons was completely concealed and not announced to the public. In the tea houses and taverns, countless people were talking about this matter enthusiastically. Have you heard about Prince Huayu, the former Prince Huayu? I heard about it, but I didn't expect it. Prince Huayu, who has always kept a low profile, actually planned in private for decades. If it weren't for His Majesty's wisdom, who saw through his scheme, who knows what would have happened. I don't want to go through the turmoil of more than 10 years ago again. Yes, the current emperor is still the best. Think about it, since His Majesty took the throne, how many peaceful days have we had? We don't have to worry about the enemy attacking the city gates all the time. There's also the Qian family. The Qian family has been abusing their power in the capital before, and His Majesty also punished them. Didn't someone say that His Majesty wouldn't punish the Qian family because they were clinging onto princely? In my opinion, it's just that His Majesty didn't punish them. Exactly. I heard that Prince Li hasn't been having a good time recently. He was even grounded during the New Year. Exactly. It doesn't matter if you're a relative of the emperor or not, as long as you commit a crime, His Majesty will punish you accordingly. Judging from the recent cases, His Majesty has a reason for arresting people. Do you think that the officials that His Majesty dealt with before were also problematic? This isn't impossible. Think about it. Before Censor Zhang's case was announced, didn't we all think that Censor Zhang was innocent? In the end, no one is innocent but him. On the second floor of the tea house, a young man in a light blue robe stood by the window and listened to the discussions below. Huaiqing, what are you looking at? Another young man in a light blue robe walked over and asked. Brother Chengyu, what kind of person do you think His Majesty is? His Majesty, this depends on which aspect you're asking. If you look at the Great Huan Kingdom as a whole, His Majesty is a very qualified emperor. Under his rule, the Great Huan Sea is peaceful and the foreign enemies don't dare to enter. These are all facts. But if you were His Majesty's subject, I'm afraid it would be a bit of a headache. What do you mean? You've heard the discussions below. Before Censor Zhang's case, His Majesty didn't give a reason to arrest people or punish them directly. Over time, there were rumors that His Majesty was cruel and heartless. This time, I don't know who influenced His Majesty to tell the truth to the world. It seems that Brother Chengyu has a good impression of His Majesty. Of course. Otherwise, I wouldn't have come all the way to the capital to take the exam. After the beginning of spring, there was a continuous stream of foreign examinees coming to the capital to take the exam. These examinees gradually became more and more lively. Shen Yu also heard the news from Shang Junlin. They're here so early? There was still some time before the spring imperial examination, but there were already people in the capital. Shen Yu was a little surprised. It's like this every year. Some people will specially come in advance to adapt to the environment, so that they won't perform improperly due to not adapting to the environment, Shang Junlin explained. Shen Yu climbed out of Shang Junlin's arms, his eyes sparkling. Then won't the capital become more and more lively? There will also be many restaurants, tea houses, bookstores, and so on specially prepared for students. Do you want to take a look? Looking at Shen Yu's sparkling eyes, Shang Junlin couldn't help but laugh. Shen Yu hurriedly nodded. If I miss this opportunity, I'll have to wait another 3 years for the next one, Your Majesty. Shen Yu deliberately dragged out the last syllable, like a hook that tickled people's hearts. Shang Junlin pressed down the hand that was messing around on his shoulder and gently squeezed it. I took the initiative to bring you out. Didn't you say you wanted to go to the countryside last time? Let Mu Shi pack a few sets of clothes. We'll stay outside for 2 days. The unexpected joy came too quickly. Shen Yu's eyes were full of shock. So Your Majesty has been busy with this matter these days? I've wronged Your Majesty. Shang Junlin smiled and approached. Then, how do you want to express your gratitude? How about giving me a kiss? Chapter 40. Is that so? Shen Yu quickly leaned forward and pecked Shang Junlin's face. Before Shang Junlin could react, Shen Yu had already retreated to his original position. This time, it was Shang Junlin's turn to be stunned. He just casually said it and didn't really want to take the opportunity to make Shen Yu do anything. Between him and Shen Yu, he was almost used to being rejected 8 or 9 times out of 10. Shang Junlin didn't even have time to react before the kiss ended. Shang Junlin's expression was stiff as he looked at the young man beside him. Shen Yu was still wearing light-colored clothes. Because they were indoors, he didn't wear a cloak with a fur collar. His palm-sized face seemed to be shining under the sunlight, and his eyes flashed with craftiness. You. Shang Junlin was helpless. At this time, how could he not understand that Shan Yu did it on purpose? He knew that Shan Yu didn't mean that, and the kiss he wanted wasn't a light touch on the cheek. However, he said, a kiss, and Shan Yu really only kissed him once. He said that he had done it, and he had indeed done it, but it made him feel empty. I've done what Your Majesty wants. Your Majesty, you can't use this matter to make me do anything next time. Shan Yu blinked with an innocent face. When have I ever made things difficult for you? Shang Junlin raised his eyebrows slightly. Last time, I clearly said that I didn't want to do it, but you still didn't let me go. There was a reason why Shen Yu didn't agree to Shang Junlin's request. Shang Junlin had been going on for too long and refused to stop when he asked him to stop. After that time in the bathhouse, Shang Junlin occasionally wanted to move, but Shen Yu didn't agree when he thought about the consequences of that time. Why is Your Majesty so vengeful? Shang Junlin pinched Shen Yu's finger suggestively. As if he had lit a fire, his fingertips began to burn. Shen Yu silently retracted his fingers. He tried to escape, but the man held him even tighter. Shen Yu looked up and saw that the man's face was serious. Only the dark color in his eyes revealed his true thoughts. If this continued, who knew what would happen? Shen Yu stood up from the soft couch as if he was scolded. I suddenly remembered that the kitchen prepared some new snacks. I'll go see why they haven't been served yet. Shang Junlin looked at Shan Yu's slightly flustered back and laughed. The man's gaze was so intense that it was impossible to ignore it. It wasn't until he stepped out of the door that feeling disappeared. Why did noble lord come out? Seeing Shan Yu come out, Eunuch Meng, who had been waiting outside the door, was surprised. Most of the time, in order to be alone with Shen Yu, Shang Junlin didn't let the palace servants serve him in the room. Shen Yu wasn't used to being surrounded by palace servants all day long, so he agreed with Shang Junlin's approach. I came to see if the snacks that the kitchen said were ready. Shen Yu didn't show any panic on his face. Is your majesty talking about the new snacks developed by the kitchen? It's already ready. It's just that I didn't want to disturb your majesty and your majesty, so I asked them to wait first. Let them serve it. Your majesty is hungry. Shen Yu mercilessly put the blame on Shang Junlin. Eunuch Meng didn't suspect anything and went to give the order. After staying outside for a while, Shen Yu felt that he had calmed down. Then, he turned around and entered the room. Shang Junlin didn't move when he left. When he saw Shen Yu come in, the smile in his eyes deepened. Your Majesty, the people from the kitchen will be here soon. Shen Yu reminded Shang Junlin that there would be outsiders coming soon, so he shouldn't act recklessly like before. What does your Majesty think I was going to do? Shang Junlin looked at Shen Yu with interest. Knowing that the people from the kitchen would be here soon, Shang Junlin wouldn't act recklessly. Shen Yu became bolder. Your Majesty, do you want to kiss me? Hug me? Or me? Shen Yu said the last few words in a very low voice, but Shang Junlin still heard every word clearly. He put down the book in his hand, stood up from the soft couch, and approached Shen Yu step by step. Oh. It seems that your Majesty is very clear about my thoughts. Does your Majesty intend to satisfy me? The man approached with a biting cold aura, as if he had released the restraint of the beast in his heart, and the sense of invasion came to him. The man's breath was getting closer and closer. Shan Yu had to reach out to the man's chest to stop him from getting closer. Shang Junlin lowered his head. His hot breath lingered on the sensitive skin of Shan Yu's neck, causing him to shiver. Your Majesty, someone is coming. Shan Yu's voice suddenly stopped. He could feel something warm gently touching the side of his neck. It was Shang Junlin's lips. It was as if he was responding to Shan Yu's lips on his face. The crimson color spread from his neck to his cheeks little by little. Not long after, Shan Yu. His whole face was red. His jade-like skin was dyed with crimson, like a ripe fruit, tempting to taste. Shang Junlin's eyes were getting deeper and deeper. He lifted Shan Yu's chin, and the distance between them was getting closer and closer. Shan Yu watched the man's handsome face grow bigger and bigger in front of his eyes. His own reflection was clearly reflected in those eyes, as if he was inadvertently sucked in. There was no end to the world, only you and me. Shan Yu didn't refuse as if he was bewitched. He let Shang Junlin continue to shorten the distance between them. Shan Yu could feel the arm around his waist getting tighter and tighter. He didn't close his eyes and stared blankly at the approaching man. Can I? Between breaths, he heard the man's magnetic voice. Shan Yu nodded slightly. Shang Junlin was about to kiss him when he was interrupted by a sudden voice. Your Majesty, the snacks are served. It was Eunuch Meng's voice. Shen Yu suddenly came back to his senses and pushed Shang Junlin in a panic. Shang Junlin was unprepared and was pushed back a step. The two of them looked at each other. The ambiguous atmosphere gradually dissipated in a slightly awkward silence. Both of them knew that it was impossible to continue. Shang Junlin said with a dark face, "Get in here." Pfft. Shen Yu laughed so hard that he trembled. He leaned his forehead on Shang Junlin's shoulder and said, "Your Majesty, you can't blame me this time. You can only blame the people in the small kitchen for coming at the right time. Eunuch Meng could hear the strong displeasure in Shang Junlin's voice. He was confused. Wasn't His Majesty hungry? Why was he angry when the people in the small kitchen delivered the snacks? Eunuch Meng didn't dare to delay. He led the palace servants to bring the snacks to the table one by one. Shan Yu was still laughing. He didn't know why, but the more he thought about it, the more he wanted to laugh. Don't laugh, Shang Junlin said helplessly and patted Shan Yu's back. All kinds of pastries were placed on the table. The unique fragrance of the pastries wafted out. Shan Yu finally remembered that he was the one who asked for the pastries. He stopped laughing and held Shang Junlin's shoulder to look at the table. Red, green, white, round, square, fruit. Each type of snack was only half the size of a palm. The table was full of them. Shan Yu's eyes lit up. The skills of the imperial chef who made the snacks in the small kitchen were superb. This was a skill that had been passed down from generation to generation. Because Shang Junlin did not have high requirements for food, this person's skills had never been able to be displayed until Shan Yu entered the palace and dug him out from the group of chefs. In order to appreciate his talent being appreciated, this person knew that Shan Yu liked all kinds of pastries. After coming to Yuzhong Palace, this person devoted himself to making pastries. Sweet, salty, sour. There were all kinds of flavors. The pastries placed on the table today were the results of his research during this period of time. Shan Yu deliberately asked Shang Junlin the time and found a more free time to share the new pastries with him. But he didn't expect to interrupt that thing. After the pastries were placed, the palace servants left one after another. Eunuch Meng glanced at the emperor, who was dissatisfied and silently left. He seemed to have interrupted the emperor's good thing. Eunuch Meng retreated outside the room, closed the door, and sighed, "Young people are full of energy." Shan Yu poked Shang Junlin, who was still unhappy. "Your Majesty, come and try the new pastries produced by the small kitchen. I specially saved them to taste with you." Hearing Shan Yu's words, Shang Junlin's face began to look better. He held Shan Yu's hand and walked to the table to sit down. Although the kiss he wanted was interrupted, Shan Yu still thought of him in everything, even sharing his favorite pastries with him. Thinking of this, Shang Junlin's heart felt a lot better. Shan Yu's soul had already been hooked by the sweet fragrance of the pastries. As soon as he sat down, he couldn't wait to pick up the chopsticks and put a piece into his mouth. Oh, delicious! Eat slowly, there's still a lot. Shang Junlin wiped the sugar stains from Shan Yu's mouth and looked at Shan Yu attentively. He didn't move his chopsticks. Perhaps because he needed to drink bitter medicine all year round, Shan Yu was obsessed with sweets. After Shang Junlin knew his preference, he ordered Eunuch Meng to find the imperial chef who was good at making sweets in the palace and send them to Yuzhong Palace to make different kinds of sweets for Shan Yu every day. However, the amount of sweets he could eat every day was strictly limited. Eating too much sweets was not good for the body, so Shan Yu could only satisfy his cravings every time. There were very few opportunities like today where he could eat freely. It was all thanks to Shang Junlin. If Shan Yu didn't have an idea and said that he wanted to taste the new products with Shang Junlin, he wouldn't have such an opportunity. "Your Majesty, try it too." Seeing that Shang Junlin didn't have anything in front of him, Shan Yu was about to put the pastries into his mouth. His chopsticks turned a corner and put the soft pastries into Shang Junlin's bowl. Because of what happened just now, Shan Yu felt a little guilty. He didn't want Shang Junlin to have psychological reasons for tasting the pastries because of this incident. He wanted to make up for it. While eating, he paid more attention to Shang Junlin. As Shan Yu tasted the pastries, he put more pastries into Shang Junlin's bowl. Because his attention was captured by the pastries, he forgot to change the serving chopsticks. Shang Junlin looked at the pile of pastries in his bowl and didn't remind Shan Yu that he didn't change the serving chopsticks. He slowly ate the pastries one by one. As expected, Shan Yu ate until he was full again, even though most of the pastries on the table went into Shang Junlin's stomach. In order to help with digestion, Shang Junlin took Shan Yu outside for a walk. Winter passed and spring came. The green tips of the grass grew, the withered trees sprouted new buds, and some plants that didn't fear the cold had already bloomed beautiful flowers. Shan Yu ate to his heart's content and was in a particularly good mood. He supported his waist with one hand and slowly moved on the path. Shang Junlin took care of his speed and walked slowly beside him. Shan Yu looked at Shang Junlin, who was holding his waist, and then looked at himself, who was supporting his waist with one hand. Pfft. He laughed out loud. What are you laughing at? After feeding Shen Yu, Shang Junlin's mood had completely changed from gloomy to sunny. Your Majesty, don't you think our posture is very... Shen Yu stopped. A little strange. What strange? Shang Junlin also stopped with one hand still supporting Shen Yu's waist. Your Majesty, look at me. Shen Yu straightened his back and touched his belly. Do I look like I'm pregnant with your Majesty's baby? Chapter 41. Shang Junlin. Gue Jun is always full of surprises. Although he said that, Shang Junlin couldn't help but think along with Shen Yu's words. If Shen Yu was really pregnant with his child, Shan Yu had only said it casually. After he finished speaking, he didn't care about the waves his words had caused in Shang Junlin's heart. He rubbed his faintly swollen belly and continued walking forward. The weather gradually warmed up. People who had been cooped up in their homes for the entire winter walked out of their homes and called their friends. Not only the commoners, but also the aristocratic families. Prince Li finally handed over his power and entered the palace on a sunny afternoon. After handing over the items that represented his status as a prince, Prince Li felt his entire body relax. He stood opposite Shang Junlin and finally found some sense of the old days. I have been reflecting on my actions these past few days. I have caused trouble for your Majesty over the years. Without the shackles of Prince Li's identity, I can return to myself. I feel that this is a very fortunate thing for me and my wife. Power had always been a double-edged sword. While you gained it, you also lost it. Perhaps some people could maintain their sense of self under the influence of power, but more often than not, they would lose themselves. When Prince Li took inventory of his power, he realized how many mistakes he had made over the years. In the name of doing well for Shang Junlin, it was actually just to satisfy his own selfish desires. I have always felt that your Majesty needed someone to accompany you. Because of my wife, I felt that the daughter of the Chen family was not bad. I thought that by marrying the daughter of the Chen family to your Majesty could be like me. Actually, in the beginning, Prince Li wanted to marry his niece to Shang Junlin not because he wanted the Chen family to rise to a higher level. He simply wanted Shang Junlin to have someone he could support by his side. However, as time passed, this pure wish became more and more personal. No matter how good the daughter of the Chen family is, I don't like her. Shang Junlin calmly stated the truth. I know. I am just glad that Shen Gue Jun, who entered the palace by accident, is someone who can stand by your Majesty's side. Emotions have always been uncontrollable. I have been muddle-headed all my life. Only now do I fully understand that everyone has their own fate. For example, the Chen family cannot be forced. Prince Li sighed deeply and continued, this subject has sent people to investigate all the matters of the Chen family, both big and small. The results have all been submitted to me. You can deal with them however you want. Your Majesty does not need to be lenient on this subject's account. In the end, the reason they ended up like this is related to this subject's blind indulgence. If it weren't for him, the Chen family wouldn't have become bolder and bolder. Fortunately, he woke up in time, and the Chen family hadn't made an irreversible mistake. There was still a glimmer of hope if they lost their arm to survive. Isn't Prince Li afraid that Princess Consort Li will blame you? Shang Junlin knew that Prince Li and Princess Consort Li had a good relationship. The reason why Prince Li took care of the Chen family was because of Princess Consort Li. Even the reason why he came to plead for mercy was because the Chen family was Princess Consort Li's maternal family. This is also this subject's wife's intention. Since the Chen family has made a mistake, they should be punished for it. Moreover, not everyone in the Chen family is useless. Only by getting rid of the rotten branches and leaves can the Chen family develop better. This principle was learned from Shang Junlin. Back then, Da Huan was in dire straits. If it weren't for Shang Junlin's decisiveness in killing a group of corrupt officials, Da Huan might not have recovered so quickly. I understand. As for the Chen family members who worked hard for Da Huan, I will not pursue them. Thank you, Your Majesty. That night, Prince Li was stripped of his title. The next day, the punishment for the Chen family was announced. No one expected that Prince Li, who had been in the imperial court for many years, would withdraw from the political scene in such a way. There were very few people who knew about the private conversation between Prince Li and Shang Junlin. Shan Yu was one of them. He knew because Shang Junlin told him. Shang Junlin did what he said. All the members of the Chen family who committed crimes were punished according to the law. Those who were clean were not stripped of their official positions. They were still loyal to their posts. It was unknown if Prince Li and the Chen family said something in private, but the Chen family quietly accepted this result. What happened to the girl from the Chen family? After listening to Shang Junlin, Shan Yu was curious. That girl was close to Princess Consort Li. Her father and brother both made mistakes. She couldn't stay in the Chen family anymore and was taken away by Princess Consort Li. Because of Prince Li, Shang Junlin paid more attention to the Chen family. Shen Yu, Your Majesty, have you met this Aunt Chen? Mother. Prince Li wanted to matchmake you two. You should have met before. I have, but it was a few years ago. Shang Junlin glanced at Shan Yu's expression. Seeing that his expression didn't change, he suddenly had an indescribable feeling in his heart. Shen Yu, Your Majesty, you haven't seen her since? What kind of girl is she? Shang Junlin, I haven't seen her since I knew what Prince Li was planning. Why do you suddenly care so much about this girl from the Chen family? Shen Yu, I'm just curious. What kind of niece-in-law is the most qualified in Prince Li's eyes? Shang Junlin didn't know which word hit the nail on the head, but the unknown emotion in his heart dissipated. He picked up the teacup and took a sip. You don't have to worry. In my heart, no one can compare to you. Shen Yu. How did the topic suddenly change to this? Shen Yu ignored Shang Junlin's sudden inexplicable words and asked, Shouldn't Your Majesty release the vassals? Why did Your Majesty suddenly bring up this topic? Did someone ask Your Majesty for help? Shang Junlin slightly frowned. Shan Yu nodded. Several of the prince's families came to me. Your Majesty, don't worry, I didn't promise them anything. Oh, right, I didn't accept the generous gifts they prepared. Shan Yu finished speaking and added slowly. If Your Majesty likes them, just accept them. You probably know what to do. It's time to let them go. Shang Junlin thought. It's not good to keep the vassals in the capital. 2 days ago, there were already ministers who mentioned this matter. The spring imperial examination is just around the corner. If they continue to keep them here, I'm afraid it will cause more trouble. With Shang Junlin's permission, Shan Yu asked Mu Shi to send a message to the vassals' families who have been waiting for news. Shan Yu didn't say anything to Shang Junlin. Although he didn't promise those families, he didn't refuse them in one breath. Instead, he gave them a chance to ease up, just for now. Why did Gongzi refuse to accept the generous gifts sent by the prince's families last time? But this time, he hinted them to prepare a generous gift. Mu Shi didn't understand. Her Gongzi's small warehouse was almost full. What's more, if Gongzi wanted something, he just needed to tell His Majesty, and someone would send it to him immediately. Why did he have to accept bribes and let people talk about him? I said it in front of His Majesty. Don't worry, even if you want to harvest wool, you can't harvest His Majesty alone, right? Don't look at those vassals who shrink their necks in the capital. It's because they are afraid that His Majesty's guillotine will fall on their heads. When they return to their fiefdoms, they will only be more powerful than the other. Their warehouses are rich. Mu Shi didn't understand, but she passed on Shen Yu's message. When the family members got the reply, they returned to their temporary residence. The vassals who had been waiting in the residence came to greet them. "How is it this time? Did your majesty agree?" They had no other choice but to find Shen Yu. They used all their power and asked the ministers to write a letter. Shang Junlin just pretended not to see it. Originally, they wouldn't have been so anxious. Who knew that Prince Huayu's incident would happen first, and then Prince Li's incident would happen not long after? That was Prince Li, a prince who had made great contributions to Shang Junlin's ascension to the throne. He was deposed just like that. Who knew if it would be them who would be deposed if they stayed any longer? There were a few people who had small ideas in their hearts. After experiencing this series of events, they suppressed their small ideas that they didn't dare to say out loud. They didn't dare to let them come out again in a short period of time. It was also because Shang Junlin didn't make any big moves in the past few years that they had some ideas that they shouldn't have. After what happened during this period of time, they suddenly realized that Shang Junlin was still Shang Junlin. He was the god of death who dared to directly lead troops to attack the capital. Under the anxious gaze of their prince, the family members said Shen Yu's intention. Fortunately, if he really didn't want anything, we would have to worry even more. Since he accepted the things, he will naturally do things for us. Quickly, prepare the things your majesty likes and send them to Yuzhong Palace. After listening to the retelling, the kings breathed a sigh of relief. The most difficult people to deal with in this world were always those who had no desires and no demands. Only when there were demands, it was easier to control them. Unknowingly, they had categorized Shen Yu as someone who was greedy and easy to manipulate. Shen Yu wanted this effect. Before Shang Junlin had completely dealt with these vassal kings, Shen Yu had already counted on earning some extra money from them. Shi was surprised to find that after conveying the news that Shen Yu liked all kinds of treasures, the attitude of the king's family members towards her became more enthusiastic. Without letting Shen Yu wait, the kings quickly prepared a big gift. Sending it to Yuzhong Palace was too eye-catching, so Shen Yu found a manner. In the early years of the abandoned village, he let them send the things over. At the same time, he also told them the specific time of the king's departure. You tell them that they should have stayed a little longer, but thanks to me pestering His Majesty for a few days, His Majesty finally relented and chose such a short date. Shi did as she was told. After everything was done, Shen Yu happily waited to receive the money. What makes your Majesty so happy? Shang Junlin came over. Under the sun, Shen Yu's smiling face was very impactful. Your Majesty, come quickly. Shen Yu handed the booklet in his hand to Shang Junlin. Your Majesty, look. I earned all these. Shang Junlin opened the booklet and looked at it a few times. It was recorded that a certain prince sent a certain thing at a certain time. All the things on the list were priceless. Is this the big business that your Majesty told me before? Shang Junlin raised the booklet in his hand. Half of the credit belongs to your Majesty. Your Majesty, don't worry, I won't take it all for myself. Half of it belongs to your Majesty. Chapter 42. I think the vassal kings don't want this blessing. Shan Yu said something fair for the vassal kings in his heart. Also, your Majesty, don't you think you have the potential to be a fatuous ruler? Shan Yu criticized a few times in his heart and expelled the unrealistic thoughts from his mind. He raised his hand and pressed on the book in Shang Junlin's hand. Your Majesty, when will you get the things back? It was not safe to leave such a large amount of property in the abandoned village. When does your Majesty want it? As soon as possible. Shen Yu slowly said under Shang Junlin's gaze, if your Majesty provides manpower, I can split it 40 to 60. Your Majesty is so generous. It seemed that Shang Junlin was not satisfied with this result. At most, we can only split it 40 to 60%. Your Majesty must know that without me, your Majesty would never have been able to do this. Thinking that Shang Junlin felt that it was not enough, Shen Yu indicated that he had already given in. I'm not interested in these things. If your Majesty likes it, I can give it all to you. Shang Junlin shook his head helplessly. What does your Majesty want? Shan Yu did not intend to monopolize the money that was cheated. Whether your majesty is interested or not, I won't take it all for myself. After all, there should be reciprocity. Only by pulling his majesty into the team could he ensure that the next plan would go smoothly. Shang Junlin still looked at him without speaking. Shan Yu's eyes moved. He had some ideas in his mind, but he was not sure. In order to confirm his thoughts, Shan Yu suddenly rushed over and hugged Shang Junlin. Can I hug your majesty as a reward for my hard work? The young man suddenly rushed over. Shang Junlin was startled and caught him firmly. Before he could blame him, he heard Shan Yu's voice. Shang Junlin felt satisfied as if a vacancy in his heart had been filled. Shang Junlin slightly tightened his arms, wanting this feeling to stay for a while. Be careful next time. Don't hurt yourself. Shang Junlin's voice came from above. Your majesty will definitely catch me and won't let me fall, Shan Yu said with a slightly raised tone. His voice was full of trust. Shang Junlin pursed his thin lips. Only the smile in his eyes showed that he was in a good mood. Shan Yu had been paying attention to Shang Junlin's emotional changes. When he saw this scene, he couldn't help but want to laugh. His majesty was too easy to coax. He could coax him with just a hug. We have a sponsor. With the help of Shang Junlin, it was no longer a problem for Shan Yu to worry about how to transport the gifts sent by the vassal kings into the palace. After handing over the matter to Shang Junlin, Shan Yu began to think about how to arrange his own forces. Although this life and his previous life had chosen a different path, Shan Yu didn't intend to really become a canary in the harem. No matter when, it was better to rely on oneself than on others. His people hadn't developed enough to be independent in the future. As for how to train these people, Shan Yu had the experience of his previous life, so it wouldn't be too difficult. It was just that some of the subordinates he was used to working with had not yet joined him. He needed to go to the village to see the situation first. The day of Shan Yu's rebirth was too coincidental. After hurriedly solving the matter of Shan Qingran and his son, it was time to enter the palace. Under the situation that the palace had sent people to the Hofu, he couldn't expose his trump card. So, he had been secretly contacting those people. Shang Junlin's actions were very fast. That night, the gifts sent by the vassal kings quietly appeared in Yuzhong Palace without attracting anyone's attention. Shan Yu had told Mu Shi in advance. When the gifts were sent, Mu Shi had already prepared an empty room to put these things. The gifts that were sent contained all kinds of rare and exotic treasures. Most of them were shiny gems, and some were exquisitely made porcelain. Shan Yu even found a whole box of gold. This was not on the list of gifts. Your Majesty, these uncles of yours are really rich. Shan Yu sighed. It seems that they really can't wait to leave. If not, how could they spend such a large amount of capital? However, I didn't expect that they would bring so much money to the capital. Maybe their original intention was to come to the capital to develop their power. Shan Yu didn't think it was strange. Money can make ghosts turn millstones. As long as you are willing to spend, you can always spend some money to get some people who don't care about their lives. Shan Yu was right. The vassal kings brought so much money because they had a little idea. The fief was too far away from the capital. If they could leave some spies in the capital, it would be much better than not knowing anything in the fief. It's just that they didn't expect that so many things would happen after coming to the capital. Not to mention that they were scared out of their wits. Even if they dared to send it, no one dared to accept it. Among them, the King of Yu vomited blood the most in his heart. After a lot of hard work, he finally proved that he was the descendant of the previous emperor, but he also destroyed most of the arrangements in the capital. The people who were supposed to be on the ship also chose to withdraw from this turmoil. Compared with the King of Yu, the current emperor was more frightening. Your Royal Highness, there is news from the residents of Zhenbei again. Are we still going to ignore it this time? The King of Yu sat at his desk and reviewed his experience during this period of time. When he heard the report from his subordinate, he was about to say that he would deal with it according to the previous practice. Suddenly, he thought of something and changed the topic. Wait, bring the letter over. Bring the previous one as well. He must not go back empty-handed. The subordinate responded with a yes. Not long after, he brought a large pile of letters. The corner of the King of Yu's eyes twitched. Why are there so many? There are also several other young masters and young ladies here. Your Royal Highness, do you want to take a look together? In order to facilitate his future actions, the King of Yu deliberately made friends with the younger generation of several ministers after coming to the capital. Some of them were purely friends, while others had a different meaning. Too many things had happened during this period of time. The King of Yu was busy proving that there was no problem with his bloodline. He hadn't contacted these people for a long time. He rubbed his forehead with a headache and said, "Bring them together." The owners of these letters were the same as Shen Qingran. The King of Yu had made friends with them by concealing his identity. Not all of them were interested in the King of Yu. They were all words of concern and concern. The King of Yu casually flipped through them and put them aside. Suddenly, his hand stopped. At this moment, the letter in his hand was written by Shen Qingran. Ignoring the crooked handwriting, the King of Yu carefully looked at the contents of the letter. The more he read, the more solemn his expression became. Did he say that he wanted to see me? Go and arrange a time for me to meet him. The King of Yu clenched the letter in his hand. If Shen Qingran really knew more than what was written in the letter, he had to find a way to bring Shen Qingran back. These things couldn't fall into the hands of Shang Junlin. The subordinate accepted the order and left. The King of Yu stood in front of the window and the smile on his face gradually widened. He originally thought that only Shan Yu could be of great use in the Count of Zhenbei's family. He didn't expect that there would be times when he misjudged. Shen Qingran really gave him a big surprise. On this side, Shen Qingran quickly received a reply from the King of Yu. After being well behaved for a period of time, Count of Zhenbei really couldn't resist concubine Ru's repeated pleas and lifted Shen Qingran's confinement. Shen Qingran's leg was slowly getting better. He was unwilling to be trapped in the Count of Zhenbei. He didn't want to be under Shan Yu's control for the rest of his life. After thinking about it, the only person he could rely on now was the King of Yu, whose identity was still unclear. As if grasping the last life-saving straw, Shen Qingran dug out all the knowledge in his mind and chose some things that the person in power would definitely like and sent them to the King of Yu. If the King of Yu wanted that position, he would definitely come to him when he saw the letter. Even if he didn't, what the letter said would not bring disaster to him. Shen Qingran waited for a few days and finally got a reply. Looking at the place mentioned in the letter, he slowly smiled. The date of the return of the kings was confirmed. The kings who couldn't stay any longer cried with joy and sent a lot of good things to Shen Yu. Shen Yu didn't expect that there would be follow-up benefits. He gave half of it to Shang Junlin and kept the rest for himself. Shang Junlin didn't say anything and accepted it. He just turned his head and found a reason to send a batch of rewards to Yuzhong Palace. Everything was not inferior to the rewards sent by the kings. The rewards were sent by Eunuch Meng. It had to be said that Shang Junlin's approach once again refreshed everyone's understanding of Shan Yu's degree of favor. Eunuch Meng, who knew the inside story of the kings, could deeply feel the weight of Shen Yu in Shang Junlin's heart. She was already numb to the rewards sent to Yuzhong Palace from time to time. Her master gave half of the stolen goods to the emperor, and in less than 2 days, the emperor sent double the reward. She and Eunuch Meng looked at each other and both of them cursed at the same time. Is this the way the royal husband shows off his love? People who don't have enough power and money really can't understand. Your Majesty. After the morning court, Shang Junlin returned to Yuzhong Palace. It seemed that since Shan Yu entered the palace, he was used to returning to Yuzhong Palace directly after the morning court. As soon as he stepped into the palace gate, he saw Shan Yu coming to greet him. Isn't this time your afternoon nap time? Why are you still outside? Shang Junlin quickened his pace and unconsciously smiled. I was frightened by your Majesty's sudden rewards and couldn't sleep, Shan Yu complained half-truthfully. Yuzhong Palace is almost full. You don't like it? Shen Yu answered honestly, I like it. But why did your majesty reward so many things? Shan Yu thought for a moment. He didn't do anything during this time. I like the gifts that your majesty gave me, so I wanted to make your majesty happy. Shan Yu was indeed happy. He was very happy, but my original intention was to enrich your majesty's private treasury. Now, not only did I not enrich it, but your majesty also took out a sum of money. Isn't what's mine yours? Just put it somewhere else. If I can't even afford to raise a Yu, I don't want to be the emperor of Dehuan. Shan Yu's heart warmed when he heard this. He couldn't help but wrap his arms around the man's waist and bury his face in Shang Junlin's shoulder. He thought to himself, sure enough, money blinds the eyes. If Shang Junlin asks for something excessive now, he might agree to it. Shang Junlin didn't know what he missed and mentioned another thing. The hidden dragon guard sent a message saying that King Yu wants to meet your younger brother in private on the third day after the vassal king left the capital. They still haven't stopped contacting each other. Shan Yu thought that after this incident, the two of them would develop differently from their previous life. It's your younger brother who sent him a letter. I don't know what he wrote, but King Yu is willing to take the risk and stay for 2 more days to meet him. Didn't your majesty say that King Yu hid his identity in the capital and got to know many officials' children? There are even some officials' daughters. Shan Yu didn't need to ask to know what King Yu was thinking. Why don't you send them a letter? It's also the last time you see them before you leave. How can you favor one and discriminate against the other? Shan Yu leaned on Shang Junlin's shoulder and laughed. That scene must be very interesting. Chapter 43. Shang Junlin could not help but imagine the scene. He tried his best to suppress the smile on his face, but his tone still revealed a hint of a smile. King Yu will definitely have a headache. Your Majesty? Shan Yu looked at him suggestively. Shang Junlin said, don't you have the token of the hidden dragon guards? You can just let them do whatever you want. Shan Yu hesitated. Isn't it inappropriate to use your hidden dragon guards to do this kind of thing? Shang Junlin did not mind. It's just sending a letter. It's not a difficult thing. After asking about the time and place of the meeting between King Yu and Shan Qingran, Shan Yu happily asked the hidden dragon guards to send the letter. Shan Yu did not have any other motive. He just wanted to make things difficult for King Yu and Shan Qingran. He could roughly guess what Shan Qingran wrote in the letter to King Yu. It was the same in his previous life. Shan Qingran used the knowledge of the future to fool many people. The book also said that Shan Qingran was able to gain the favor of King Yu because of his unique personality and his never-ending supply of new ideas. Your Majesty, aren't you curious about what Shan Qingran said to King Yu? Shan Yu lay on the soft couch and poked Shang Junlin's leg. The man who was reading the memorials paused. His leg muscles tightened. He put down his pen and grabbed Shan Yu's hand. I'm only interested in the letter that you wrote. Shan Yu looked at Shang Junlin from the bottom and smiled. Your Majesty, are you hinting that I should write a letter to you? Shang Junlin put down the memorials and carried Shan Yu into his arms. I think that you can help me read the memorials for a while. Shan Yu twisted his body and refused. Your Majesty, you have to learn to do your own things. If you can't do it, you can still squeeze the officials. You don't have to ask me to do it. Guijun, don't move. Shang Junlin's voice suddenly became low and hoarse. Shan Yu suddenly froze in place. The burning hot presence was extremely strong against him. Shan Yu did not dare to provoke Shang Junlin anymore. After sitting for a while, the heat did not dissipate. Shan Yu could not stand it anymore and said softly, Your Majesty, let me down. It was really uncomfortable to be pressed against him all the time. Shang Junlin didn't plan to do anything. He patted Shan Yu's back and released his arm. Shan Yu hurriedly stood up and moved to the other side of the soft couch. He carefully looked at Shang Junlin and said, Your Majesty, should I go out for a while? No. Shan Yu, he picked up a book and sat on the other side of the couch, absent-mindedly flipping through the pages. 15 minutes later, Shang Junlin, of Shan Yu read to Emperor Junlin, Junlin Junlinshin, you could not tell if Shang Junlin had calmed down or not. Shen Yu flipped through the book in boredom and looked at Shang Junlin again. Your Majesty? Yes. His voice was calm. It seemed that everything was fine. Shan Yu was relieved and relaxed instantly. He slowly moved to Shang Junlin's side. Your Majesty, this is not good. Who would I blame? Shang Junlin did not turn his head. Shan Yu, who had pushed Shan Yu out of the room but did not put out the fire, shut his mouth. The room became quiet. For a while, there was only the sound of the booklets being turned and the brush rubbing against the pages. In order to take care of Shan Yu's body, the temperature in the room was very high. It was easy for people to fall asleep in a warm environment. Shan Yu blinked. He was a little sleepy. Sensing his boredom, Shang Junlin handed him a booklet. Gue Jun, take a look at this. Shan Yu took the booklet doubtfully and opened it. Is there progress so soon? The booklet was presented by Lin County. The excitement of the person who wrote it could be seen from between the lines. After Gue Jun gave the flood control method to me, I quickly ordered people to go to Lin County. According to the news from Lin County, the initial results have been seen. The problem in Lin County could not be solved overnight. Shang Junlin did not expect to see results immediately. He did not expect that in less than 2 months, there would be good news. Shan Yu's sleepiness immediately disappeared. He carefully read the contents of the booklet and sighed, "It's really good. If it could be prevented in advance, it would not cause such a big loss like in his previous life." Soon, it was the day for the kings to leave. Unlike in the past, there were always people who refused to leave. This time, as soon as the sun rose, the kings packed their luggage and left in a hurry without waiting for others to send them off. More and more students came to the capital to take the exam. Those who got up early were lucky enough to see this scene. Why are they in such a hurry to leave? Aren't they going to wait? Some students who had just arrived were puzzled. If the time was not set to be today, the kings would have already left. Why is that? Ha ha ha, didn't you hear about what happened a while ago? Is that so? They are probably afraid that if they stay, they will end up like Prince Huayu and Prince Li. After the kings left, the capital returned to its peaceful state. King Yu's carriage left with the crowd, but no one noticed that the real King Yu had changed his clothes and walked into a restaurant where students gathered. Shan Yu and Shang Junlin also disguised themselves and left the palace. In order to avoid being recognized, the two of them disguised themselves as students who came to the capital to take the exam. They came to the biggest restaurant in the capital, Yingxing Tower. The owner of this restaurant was very good at doing business. He knew the importance of reputation. During the spring imperial examination, he would receive students who came to the capital to take the exam at a very low price. If one obtained scholarly honors, not only would the cost of food and accommodation be waived, but they could also receive a sum of money. They only needed to leave a calligraphy piece. For this reason, many examinees were willing to stay here. After all, this restaurant had produced countless high school students. It was also good to get an auspicious omen. Shan Yu and Shang Junlin sat face to face in a private room by the window. Listening to the endless introduction of the waiter, they gave a thumbs up. "Your boss is very good." That's right, the waiter was obviously very proud of his restaurant. Not to mention other things, our dishes taste very good. During this time, you will definitely feel that the money you spent was worth it. What would you like to order? After the waiter finished the introduction, he did not forget the business. "Give me a portion of your signature dishes." Shen Yu thought for a moment. "Do you have any delicious snacks?" You've asked the right person. People who have tried our desserts say that they're superb. We have everything from sweet to savory. It can be said that there's no other restaurant in the entire capital that has more desserts than us. Okay, then give us some sweet desserts. I want your most famous desserts. Okay, please wait a moment. I will ask the kitchen to prepare it. The waiter wrote down one by one. What about the drinks? What do you want? This time, before Shan Yu could speak, Shang Junlin said, "No drinks." The waiter was stunned for a moment. He probably had not met a male customer who did not want a drink, but he quickly reacted and said with a straight face, "Yes." Shen Yu explained with a smile, "I am not in good health, so I can't drink these." "I understand. Please wait a moment." This time was different from the last time. Shan Yu had not experienced such a lively atmosphere for a long time. Jun Lin poured a cup of tea. He handed the teacup to Shang Jun Lin. "Your Majesty, how do you feel?" Downstairs, there was a hubbub of voices and endless discussions. They were immersed in the hubbub of the human world and integrated with this flashy world. Feeling the cool breeze blowing on his face, Shen Yu clearly realized that he had really returned to the past. Shang Jun Lin took a sip of the teacup. If you like it, you can come a few more times." "Then I will have to trouble a Lin to accompany me a few more times," Shen Yu said with a smile. "Without a Lin, it will be boring for me to be alone." "You want me to follow behind you to pay and carry things for you, right?" Shang Jun Lin mercilessly broke Shen Yu's lie. "Why is a Lin so clear?" Shen Yu held his chin with both hands. "If you want to carry things for me, you can just pick any palace maid to do it. A Lin is different from them." His Majesty, who was easy to coax, paid very quickly for the rest of the trip. Yingxing Tower was very fast. Even though there were many guests, they did not let Shen Yu and Shang Jun Lin wait for long. After about a quarter of an hour, dishes began to be served one after another. In order to maintain the reputation of the best restaurant in the capital, Yingxing Tower made every dish look, smell, and taste good. Shan Yu paid attention to Shang Jun Lin while eating. When he saw that Shang Jun Lin's eyebrows were relaxed, he knew that Shang Jun Lin was very satisfied with the dishes here. One of the dishes was braised carp. The color was very beautiful. Shan Yu's eyes swept over the dish several times, but he did not pick it up. His eyes casually swept downstairs and suddenly stopped. Shen Yu pulled Shang Junlin's sleeve. "Lin, look, isn't that Prince Yu?" Not far downstairs, a man in white was standing with two young people dressed like students. It was unknown what they were talking about. Shang Junlin looked in the direction of Shan Yu's finger. "It's him." Although Prince Yu was in disguise, Shan Yu had dealt with him for a long time in his previous life. It was impossible for him not to recognize him. Moreover, Prince Yu had used this appearance to get close to him. Shen Yu picked up a piece of dessert and put it in his mouth. What is he doing here? Maybe he wants to get to know some people who can enter the imperial court in the future. Shang Junlin carefully picked out the bones in the fish and pushed the bowl in front of Shen Yu. Shen Yu looked at the bowl in front of him in surprise. "This is... I saw you looking at the carp several times, but you didn't eat it. Are you worried about the bones? Don't worry, I've already picked out all the bones in this bowl. Eat it." Shang Junlin's tone was as usual. He didn't feel that he had done anything big. Shen Yu slowly picked up a piece of fish and put it in his mouth. His heart was sour and swollen. He couldn't describe the feeling. Shen Yu slowly ate the fish in the bowl. How could he have the mood to care about Prince Yu? However, some things couldn't be completely separated from you just because you didn't care about them. The two of them ate quietly for a while. Suddenly, there was a noise outside the door. One of the voices was Prince Yu, whom they were paying attention to just now. Shan Yu didn't intend to pay attention to it. Looking at Shang Junlin, he also didn't intend to pay attention to it. Suddenly, the door was pushed open from the outside. The waiter walked in with an apologetic face. "I'm really sorry to disturb the two of you." Shan Yu looked up and saw a woman in pink standing in front of Prince Yu. She was saying something in a stern voice. There were several women in gorgeous clothes around her. Two young people who were dressed like students stood aside awkwardly. They wanted to persuade her but didn't know how to. Shan Yu looked around the crowd. Unsurprisingly, he saw Shan Qingran, who was not far from Prince Yu. Shan Qingran was wearing light blue clothes. His head was lowered, so his expression couldn't be seen clearly. The woman standing in front of Prince Yu seemed to be angered by Prince Yu's words. She didn't seem to notice that the door was pushed open. She suddenly raised her voice. "What do you mean by that? Are you raising fish? Look at these. The woman pointed at the people around them, red, pink, green, yellow, blue. Are you planning to collect all the colors and open a dye house? Chapter 44. Chen Yu couldn't hold back his laughter and hurriedly covered his mouth. He didn't want to interrupt such a good show. Sitting down beside Shang Junlin, Shan Yu lowered his voice and said, I didn't expect that the people King Yu provoked would be so eloquent. Opening a dye shop, ha ha ha, he must be so angry, ha ha ha. Shan Yu was laughing so hard that he could not stand straight. Shang Junlin had no choice but to hold his shoulders to prevent him from falling. Which family is this girl from? She is so talented. She is the only daughter of Lord Feng. Shang Junlin replied as he hugged the young man who was laughing in his arms. So she is from Lord Feng's family. Lord Feng is really good at teaching his daughter. Shan Yu gave high praise to Lord Feng. The good show was not over yet. The girl in pink was not willing to give up. King Yu was very annoyed. He only wanted to meet Shan Qingran in private. He did not expect to meet these people at the same time. During this period of time, the imperial court was in a state of panic. It was impossible for him to take the path of an official. If not, he would not have to find another way to get to know the children of these officials. People were always unguarded towards their own family members. King Yu had indeed obtained a lot of useful information from these people. After tasting the sweetness, King Yu used the same trick and got to know the children of a few important officials. Shang Junlin told Shan Yu the information that the hidden dragon guards had found. Shan Yu waved his hand and asked the waiter to bring a small plate of melon seeds. He said while eating, King Yu is really willing to spend money. He did not hesitate to use his body to entice them. Shang Junlin understood the meaning behind Shan Yu's words. He smiled slightly. Lin, eat too. Shan Yu grabbed a handful of melon seeds and stuffed them into Shang Junlin's hands. He continued to hold the melon seeds and watch the show. Fortunately, they were in a room upstairs. There were not many customers. Most of the people surrounding King Yu were here to send him off after receiving the letter. No one knew that they would encounter such a scene after arriving. I don't want to listen to your excuses. Today, this lady will say it right here. You must give us an explanation. The pink-clothed girl said bluntly. The rest of the girls nodded their heads as if they had a common enemy. They had all been pampered since they were young. When had they ever suffered such grievances? If King Yu could not give them a satisfactory answer, it was obvious that this matter would not be easily resolved. Yu Wang to when he grew up and interacted with Master Feng's daughter, he quite liked her valiant personality. But when this kind of personality was directed at him, it was very unpleasant. The moment he stepped into the private room and saw the girl in pink, he knew that things were not going to be good. In fact, it was also the case. Before he could speak, the girl in pink asked a series of questions that made him speechless. If the woman in pink was alone, he could still think of a way to calm her down. Unexpectedly, there was more than one person in the private room. After losing the initiative, King Yu could only retreat step by step. Shan Yu nudged Shang Junlin with his elbow. How do you think King Yu will solve this crisis? Shang Junlin shook his head honestly. Then he thought of something and stared at Shan Yu with his eagle-like eyes. You know. Shan Yu was stunned for a moment and pulled back his attention from the battlefield. He smiled and said, I only have Lin. How can I have the luck to enjoy the treatment of King Yu? Shang Junlin withdrew his gaze and continued to peel melon seeds. King Yu restrained his impatience and comforted the pink-clothed girl in front of him. Let's go in first and talk about it. Okay? I promise to give you an explanation. No need. Just here. I will leave after you explain it clearly. She disdained this kind of man who split his legs. Same for us. Several well-dressed girls nodded. When they first knew the truth, they were flustered. Fortunately, Miss Feng's words made them see the true face of the scumbag. There were thousands of men in the world. With their family background, How could they not find a good one? They just wanted to seek justice for themselves. The commotion was too big. Guests from other private rooms came out one after another to watch the fun. During this special period, most of the guests in Yingxing Tower were students from all over the country who came to the capital to take the imperial exam. King Yu's image was completely ruined in the eyes of the scholars. A new guest couldn't understand what was happening in front of him. He was puzzled. What happened? It seems that this man cheated several girls at the same time and they came to him at the same time. Oh, so many. It seems that there are more than just girls. Look over there are several handsome young masters. Feeling strange gazes from time to time, 2 students who were affected by the commotion pulled the corners of their mouths awkwardly and quietly retreated. They didn't want to get involved in this muddy water. In their hearts, they felt bad for King Yu. Their favorable impression of him also fell to the bottom. No matter how talented he was, he couldn't beat a bad character. They looked at each other and removed King Yu from the list of people they could get to know. Bathed in all kinds of ambiguous gazes, Shen Qingran clenched his fists. He couldn't understand why such a thing happened. He thought that he could have a meteoric rise after today, but in fact, he jumped from one abyss to another. More and more people gathered around and the discussion became louder and louder. King Yu's forehead twitched and he almost couldn't maintain the expression on his face. The girls who were cheated surrounded King Yu and didn't let him go. The girl in pink didn't care about the gazes of the outside world. She wanted to seek justice for herself and the girls who were also cheated. Shan Yu watched with great interest. In order to have a better view, he pulled Shang Junlin to the door and mixed into the crowd. The sound of Shan Yu eating melon seeds attracted the attention of the people around him. Feeling the gazes from time to time, Shan Yu generously reached out his hand. Do you want some? A student in green took a small handful of melon seeds from Shan Yu's hand. Shang Junlin's eyes fell on the student in green like a shadow. No matter how big the student in green was, he couldn't bask in such a gaze and eat melon seeds. He had to whisper to Shan Yu, "How should I address you too? My surname is Yu, and his surname is Lin." Shan Yu pointed to himself and then to Shang Junlin. "Young Master Yu, young Master Lin." The student in green introduced himself after greeting them. "My surname is Zhang. You can call me Huiqing." Zhang Huiqing. Shan Yu calmly looked at the young man standing in front of him. He was full of vitality and had not been worn away by hardships. He also didn't have the world-weary momentum. His most capable subordinate in his previous life was just a young man who had not experienced any hardships and was full of mettle. Shan Yu raised the corner of his mouth. Compared with the subordinate in his previous life who was lethargic, he preferred the current Zhang Huiqing who had bright eyes. "Huiqing also lives here?" Zhang Huiqing nodded. He thought of something and felt a little embarrassed. "Today, 2 of my companions said that they would introduce a friend to us. I didn't expect." Shen Yu understood. The person they introduced was the one surrounded by women? Zhang Huiqing nodded. "Now, we can't make friends with him no matter what." The gaze fell on him as if it was tangible. However, Zhang Huiqing only felt a burst of coldness rushing towards him. Under the intense sense of crisis, his hair stood on end. Zhang Huiqing followed the gaze in confusion. When he saw the man standing beside Shen Yu, he was stunned. Looking at the man's possessive posture towards Shen Yu, Zhang Huiqing intuitively saw through a certain truth. He silently distanced himself from Shen Yu. Sure enough, after he consciously distanced himself, the temperature around him instantly rose. Zhang Huiqing moved his gaze to the center of the crowd with a stupefied expression. He'd better continue to watch the show. Shan Yu didn't notice the small episode around him. He was whispering to Shang Junlin while paying attention to the movements of the Prince of Yu. The Prince of Yu was badly battered. Fong Darren's daughter was too difficult to deal with. No matter what he said, she wouldn't let him go. His lies were also easily seen through by her. Under her leadership, the difficulty of deceiving those women rose sharply. At this moment, the Prince of Yu was really regretful. If he had known, he wouldn't have allowed Fong Darren to be used by the Emperor to hook up with Fong Darren's daughter. Not only did he fail to get any information, but he also got himself into trouble. This woman is really amazing. Zhang Huiqing couldn't help but sigh. With just a few words, she forced that man to be utterly defeated. Ordinary men can't be so clear and logical. Shan Yu nodded in agreement. The Prince of Yu had kicked an iron plate this time. Shang Junlin bent down slightly and moved closer to Shan Yu's ear. He lowered his voice so that only the two of them could hear. Fong Darren's daughter is really not inferior to men. His warm breath sprinkled on her sensitive earlobe. Shan Yu trembled and her earlobe gradually turned red. Her white jade seeped into the crimson color. Shang Junlin's eyes darkened and he felt his teeth itch. He couldn't help but move closer. Shan Yu only felt pain in her ear. Before she could think, she suddenly raised her hand to cover her ear. She turned her head and said unhappily, "What are you doing?" Do you think I'm right?" Shang Junlin didn't have a guilty conscience at all. Shan Yu's ears burned and the feeling of being bitten lingered. She gritted her teeth and wanted to bite Shang Junlin too. Zhang Huiqing, who happened to see the scene just now, turned his head stiffly. He even forgot what he wanted to say to Shan Yu. Under the pressure of the woman in pink, the Prince of Yu finally couldn't help but apologize. However, at this time, a woman who had been standing in the corner silently stood up and said sternly, "He is the Prince of Yu. How can he apologize to you commoners? It's your fortune to be favored by the Prince of Yu." Whoa! A stone stirred up 1,000 ripples. Is he really the Prince of Yu? Didn't the Prince of Yu return to his fief with the other vassals? This woman doesn't look like she's lying. Slandering the royal family is a serious crime. But didn't the rumors say that the Prince of Yu was gentle and elegant and stood aloof from worldly affairs? You said it was a rumor. You may know a person for a long time without understanding his true nature. Who knows what kind of person he is in private? The discussion instantly became louder. Shan Yu poked Shang Junlin's arm. "Did you arrange this?" Shang Junlin frowned. "No. He only asked the hidden dragon guards to pass the letter to those people. He didn't do anything else." Shan Yu pinched his chin and pondered. This was interesting. Who had such a big grudge against the Prince of Yu that they would expose his identity at this time? The Prince of Yu's expression changed instantly. He shot a murderous look at the woman. He originally planned to give up his current identity. Anyway, he was going to return to his fief and wouldn't be able to come to the capital for a while. At most, he could come back with a new identity after this incident. However, if his true identity was exposed, all his previous efforts would be in vain. The Prince of Yu? It seems that he isn't rearing fish but choosing concubines. Someone in the crowd said sarcastically, "The concubines he is choosing are all from prestigious families." The woman in pink said disdainfully, "Choosing concubines? Doesn't he know if he's worthy? Even the Emperor only wants one concubine. Does the Prince of Yu want to get all the concubines in one net?" Chapter 45. The disdain in the girl in pink's words was obvious. Many people present couldn't help but laugh out loud. Thinking about it carefully, it's true. His Majesty didn't choose any noble lady, but King Yu personally went to pick one for himself. The key is that he chose people, but he hid his true identity to deceive innocent women. It's really shameful. There were also people who had a good impression of King Yu who tried to save his dignity. Did this person do it on purpose? He has a grudge against King Yu and deliberately slandered him. No matter what, King Yu is still a prince. He can have any woman he wants. There's no reason for him to hide his identity to get acquainted with all the ladies in the capital. You missed it. There are also men. In this matter, King Yu really can't compare to His Majesty. Of course. Otherwise how can King Yu only be King Yu? Shang Junlin only wanted Shen Yu. Although many courtiers were dissatisfied, the reaction of the people was very good. The affectionate and loyal emperor didn't hesitate to fight against the courtiers for his lover. It suddenly made people feel that he was humane. In the past, what they heard the most was how cruel the emperor was and how he killed people. Hearing it made people tremble in fear. This time, it was different. When everyone heard it, they only felt that the emperor also had feelings. He would also fight for love like ordinary people. He also had 7 emotions and 6 desires. He would not only kill people. Shan Qingran hid in the corner and didn't dare to show his head. He was surprised when he found out King Yu's true identity, but it was only for a moment. Soon, he was pulled back to reality and continued to face the embarrassing situation in front of him. At the same time, his jealousy of Shen Yu reached a peak. Why did Shan Yu meet people who were loyal to him, but he met a master of fish breeding? Oh no, now the fish pond was overturned, and the cause was very likely to be him. Shen Qingran tried hard to recall, trying to find something wrong from his memory. He didn't believe that King Yu would be so stupid to ask everyone to meet at the same place. Unfortunately, he thought about it several times and still couldn't find anything. King Yu listened to everyone's discussion, and his face turned red and white. He couldn't bear to be compared with Shang Junlin, especially when he was a negative example. Looking around, everyone's jaws dropped. He opened and closed his mouth, spitting out the words he was most unwilling to hear. He wanted these people to shut up, but when he opened his mouth, he seemed to have lost his voice. What should he say? What could he say? In his panic, he thought of something and looked in the direction of the woman who had revealed his true identity. The woman was wearing a light blue dress and had a red hairpin of the same color on her head. Her small face was deathly pale, making her look very pitiful. No. The fog in his mind was sliced apart by a blade of light. King Yu calmed himself down and carefully observed the woman. The woman seemed to be frightened by his gaze and shrank back. The girl in pink noticed his movements and moved to block King Yu's line of sight. The King of Yu was about to get angry, but when he saw that bright and beautiful face, he was speechless. Your Highness King Yu is so powerful. Not only are you fearless after your identity is exposed, you even want to threaten us sisters? It could be said that the pink-clothed woman did not hold back when she insulted King Yu. I didn't. King Yu's momentum automatically lowered by half. I'm just very confused. I don't know that woman. Why would she appear here? But in this case, not many people believed King Yu's words. He's still lying at this time. Even the prince can't do this, right? He must have been accidentally exposed by that woman. Now that woman is still dreaming of flying to the branch and becoming a phoenix. Shen Yu watched the increasingly exciting drama with great interest and discussed with Shang Junlin in a low voice. I don't know if King Yu really doesn't know this woman or is pretending not to know her. Whether he knows her or not, now everyone will only think that this woman is one of his beauties. What do you mean by it's hard to explain? That's it. Shan Yu was happy to see King Yu suffer. So he really is King Yu. Zhang Huiqing was speechless. How can a prince do such a thing? Shan Yu, a person's character has nothing to do with his identity. Zhang Huiqing, that's right. You can't think that he can't deceive a little girl just because he is a prince. More than that. Look over there. Shan Yu pointed to the side with a low sense of presence. Those seemed to be related to King Yu. Zhang Huiqing looked in the direction of Shen Yu's finger and sucked in a breath of cold air. It turns out that he not only wants to kidnap the minister's daughter, but also her son. He won't let go of the minister's son. The confrontation between King Yu and the woman in pink was still going on. King Yu wanted to go over and ask what was going on. The woman in pink was worried that he would hurt people, so she stopped him from approaching. The onlookers also sensed something and pushed to separate the two of them. They looked at him with obvious condemnation in their eyes. King Yu's breath was stuck in his chest. He had never been in such a sorry state before. If he is King Yu, this matter can't be easily settled. Miss, you have to think carefully. King Yu deliberately concealed his identity to approach you. What is his intention? A clear voice sounded in the crowd. Most of the people present were not stupid. They could sense that something was wrong with this matter after thinking about it carefully. Yes, we must ask clearly. The woman in pink frowned. She was a clear-minded person. She could figure out the interests of this matter after being slightly pointed out by others. These women were not all stunning. Apart from their own conditions, what else was worth the prince's attention? After thinking about it, it could only be his elders who were officials. Looking at the women around her, she found that all of them had fathers or brothers who were officials in the imperial court. Thinking of this, the woman in pink was even angrier. She was usually very careful not to reveal things that shouldn't be revealed to outsiders. As for whether other people had, her eyes swept over these women's faces one by one. Some of them had slightly changed their faces. It seemed that they had said something that shouldn't be said in private with King Yu. King Yu, what do you say? The woman in pink looked coldly at the man who had almost made her fall into a trap. Seeing that King Yu was unable to reverse the situation because of Shen Yu's words, Jiang Huiqing couldn't help but give a thumbs up. Young Master Yu is amazing. Shen Yu smiled and responded to Jiang Huiqing's praise. You flatter me, you flatter me. Does young Master Yu have any conflicts with King Yu? Jiang Huiqing was very curious. If not, why did young Master Yu put King Yu in a more difficult situation again and again? No, I'm in white. What disputes can I have with King Yu? Shen Yu's expression didn't change. I just can't stand him bullying so many innocent women. If there is a chance, I think Huiqing will do the same thing as me. Jiang Huiqing thought for a moment and nodded. Indeed, so what if he is a prince? Can he be more important than His Majesty? She felt her hand being held under her sleeve. Shen Yu touched the man's palm. As expected, she felt the man's body stiffen. Shen Yu pretended not to know and stopped. How does this have anything to do with His Majesty? You see, His Majesty sits on the 4 seas and has everything he wants. In the beginning, the ministers exerted a lot of pressure to force His Majesty to take a concubine, but His Majesty said he didn't want one. He resisted the pressure and made the ministers pinch their noses and accept this matter. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw a man in a light gray robe walking over. Jiang Huiqing waved, Brother Cheng Yu, over here. After greeting Shen Yu, he explained, I met Brother Cheng Yu on my way to the capital. He is a person I can make friends with. The man walked over to them in a short while. Jiang Huiqing introduced the two sides. This is young Master Yu, young Master Lin. This is Brother Cheng Yu, surnamed He. Young Master He. Compared to Jiang Huiqing, He Cheng Yu's attitude was slightly colder. However, among the 4 of them, there was already a very cold Shang Junlin, so it wasn't strange. Used to Shang Junlin's silence, Jiang Huiqing still pulled Shen Yu to talk. Occasionally, He Cheng Yu would say a few words. Without waiting for He Cheng Yu to ask, Jiang Huiqing told him what had just happened. After finishing, he sighed, I really didn't expect that I would encounter such a thing. Is that really Prince Yu? He Cheng Yu looked at the embarrassed man in the crowd. Most likely. No matter whether he is or not, this won't end well. Shang Junlin protected Shen Yu from the crowd. Shen Yu hid under the man's protection with a clear conscience. He Cheng Yu quietly observed the 2 people. No matter how he looked at them, these 2 people's identities were not simple. Shen Yu noticed it but didn't care. He whispered to Shang Junlin. Shen Yu, how does a Lin think this matter will be solved? Shang Junlin, what does a Yu want? Shen Yu, he wants Prince Yu to be taught a lesson. But we don't know the origin of the woman who revealed Prince Yu's identity. Shang Junlin, I will send someone to investigate. No matter what the purpose of the person behind the woman is, if it has something to do with us, he will come out sooner or later. Shen Yu, since he has caused so much trouble for Prince Yu, if he has any request, a Lin should agree to it. Shang Junlin held Shen Yu's hands tightly under the sleeves. He rubbed the back of Shen Yu's hand and was very easy to talk to. Okay. Shen Yu continued to give a meaningful glance. Prince Yu must have brought people. Maybe he wants to silence them. We can't let Prince Yu leave so easily. Don't worry, Shang Junlin pinched Shan Yu's fingers. Our people are down there. Prince Yu finally made some progress. Seeing that the situation was about to develop to an irreversible point, Prince Yu couldn't help but call out the servants who were secretly following him, intending to force his way out. Since you know my identity, quickly get out of the way. I won't pursue your crime of disrespect. Prince Yu, who was protected in the middle by the servants, tried to put on a strong front. He must escape first and then think of a way. These students. Prince Yu made up his mind. Since they saw this scene, they should never speak of it. As soon as he finished speaking, there was an uproar. Prince Yu is so powerful. Shen Yu clapped his hands and walked out of the crowd. Before Prince Yu leaves, shouldn't you give justice to these women? Who are you? Prince Yu looked at him vigilantly. Don't meddle in my business. A person who sees injustice on the road. Shen Yu slightly curved his lips. Prince Yu, don't think that you can oppress others with your power just because you are a prince. You should know that you are only a prince. In Da Huan, it's not your turn to make the decision. Well said. In the crowd, Jiang Huiqing loudly agreed. The others also followed. They were all ambitious young people. No matter what they would become after being corrupted by officialdom in the future, they all abhorred evil. They hoped that they could make a real career for the country and the people. They couldn't stand this kind of oppression. That's right, who do you think you are? You dare to oppress people in front of the emperor? We have so many people, do you think we are afraid of you? If you don't make it clear today, don't think about leaving. Moreover, shouldn't the king have already left? Why are you staying in the capital? Prince Yu's behavior just now had aroused public anger. Once his momentum was oppressed, he would definitely suffer a backlash. Shan Yu lowered his eyes. Look, didn't this lead to a bad result? You are. Prince Yu looked at Shan Yu in surprise, and then his eyes moved to the man beside Shan Yu and suddenly stopped. Prince Yu didn't care about other people's words. He stared at Shan Yu and Shang Junlin. Even if they disguised themselves, he still recognized them. The Emperor and the Emperor. Why are they here? Shan Yu and Shi Yu. He put his finger on his lips and made a gesture of silence. Prince Yu's eyes were about to burst. Not long after, the Imperial Army in uniform appeared upstairs and took away Prince Yu, who had lost all his strength. Shang Junlin asked the leader of the Imperial Army to send the young master and young lady back. Before leaving, the woman in pink took a deep look at Shen Yu. After that, in order to compensate the two people who were disturbed, the boss of Yingxing Tower specially prepared a table of new dishes for Shan Yu and Shang Junlin. Jiang Huiqing dragged He Cheng Yu to eat. Shen Yu originally intended to make friends with Jiang Huiqing, so he didn't refuse. Looking at the table full of dishes, Jiang Huiqing sighed with emotion. The boss of Yingxing Tower is really generous. If there's a chance, we can get to know each other. Shan Yu replied casually. It's probably difficult. It's said that the boss of Yingxing Tower has a very powerful background. Even if it wasn't enough, it couldn't support the negative income expenses for the whole spring. Although they just met, Jiang Huiqing was very familiar with Shen Yu. From time to time, he would say a few words to liven up the atmosphere. He Cheng Yu didn't talk much at first, but after chatting for a while, he gradually became more talkative. Only Shang Junlin rarely spoke. I didn't finish the fish just now. Shan Yu regretted that the emperor had personally removed the bones for him. As soon as he finished speaking, a bowl of deboned fish was pushed in front of him. Shan Yu looked up at Shang Junlin. He didn't miss the touch of gentleness in the man's eyes. Lin is so nice. After saying that, he started to eat the fish. After that, Jiang Huiqing saw the man feeding Shen Yu in all kinds of ways. Finally, he couldn't help but ask, "What's the relationship between you two?" Even if they were biological brothers, there wouldn't be an elder brother who would take care of his younger brother like this. Shen Yu thought for a while and said, "We have an arranged marriage." Chapter 46. Jiang Huiqing's chopsticks fell on the table with a clatter. The young man opened his mouth halfway and uttered a meaningless syllable. Shang Junlin's hand movements also paused. Only He Changyu, who had already guessed the relationship between the two, reacted as usual. "Why, are you surprised?" Shen Yu looked at Jiang Huiqing, who was obviously shocked, and asked. "Not really," Jiang Huiqing smiled awkwardly. It's very sudden." In the short period of time they spent together, the man did not hide his possessiveness towards Shen Yu. Shen Yu also indulged the man's every move. Jiang Huiqing could see that the relationship between the two was not ordinary. The only thing he did not expect was that, "So you're already married?" Shen Yu blinked. "I had no choice. My family kept urging me." "The two of you don't look like people who can be manipulated by their family." Jiang Huiqing was still in a daze. Shen Yu smiled but did not say anything. In the second half of the meal, Jiang Huiqing ate without tasting the food. After the meal, Jiang Huiqing pulled He Chengyu to leave. He needed to digest the news he had just heard. Shen Yu did not ask him to stay. There was no hurry to get to know him. Yu seems to have a good impression of young Master Jiang. Shang Junlin took a handkerchief and slowly wiped his hands. "Is it that obvious? You've never treated anyone like this." Shang Junlin pointed out the truth. "Her Majesty doesn't want me to get to know other." Shan Yu deliberately delayed for a while. When he saw Shang Junlin's body gradually tensed up, he said the last two words, "Young master." "I'm enough for Gue Jun." Shang Junlin finished speaking and used the truth as an example. "It's not good to be like Prince Yu." "Ha ha ha ha." Shan Yu was overjoyed. Why did Lin use Prince Yu as an example? "Do you think I'll be like Prince Yu and get together with all kinds of people?" "That's not what I meant." He just didn't want to see young Master Jiang and young Master He appear beside Shen Yu out of nowhere. "I know." Shan Yu wiped the tears from the corners of her eyes. "Lin, you can rest assured that I have no interest in opening a dye house." Speaking of the dye house, Shan Yu remembers the woman who insulted the Prince of Yu until he was powerless to talk back. "Your Majesty, do you know anything about Miss Fong?" Shang Junlin was alarmed. "What are you trying to do?" "Your Majesty, what are you thinking about?" Shen Yu asked. "I just feel that it's a waste of talent for this lady to not be able to contribute to De Huan. But she is a woman." Shang Junlin frowned. Although the Great Huan dynasty was more liberal than other dynasties and had fewer restrictions on women, there was no precedent of a woman becoming an official. "Isn't it just a matter of a word from Your Majesty?" Shan Yu thought for a moment. "Of course, you have to ask Miss Fong for her own opinion first." Shan Yu remembered very clearly that in the era before Shan Qingran's time travel, women could also be independent. Since ancient times, there were many talented women. It was a waste for them to only be able to stay in the harem. Shang Junlin did have the intention of changing the imperial court for a new batch of blood. He seriously considered the feasibility of this matter. On the other side, Miss Fong returned to the Fong family under the escort of the imperial guards. Lord Fong was startled when he saw the well-trained imperial guards entering the house. "What did you do?" "Father, don't worry. I didn't cause any trouble. They are sending me back. Father, please help me entertain them." Miss Fong quickly ran back to her room. "Miss, you're finally back. Next time you go out, don't leave me at home. I really can't handle madam." I know," Miss Fong said perfunctorily. "Quickly, give me a change of clothes. Don't bring those fancy ones. My miss, isn't this pink dress very beautiful? It suits you very well." Her personal maid persuaded her. Her young miss was good at everything, but in terms of dressing, she really didn't look like a young girl. Other girls liked beautiful and bright colors, but her young miss didn't. She never liked colors and styles that were suitable for young girls. "Don't bring this kind of dress in front of me in the future." Miss Fong changed into her usual style. The maid couldn't persuade her, so she had to put the pink dress away. "Why did you change into a gray dress again?" Madame Fong heard that her daughter was back and hurried over. Isn't the pink dress very good? What's wrong? Didn't it go well? Madame Fong knew that her daughter specially dressed to see someone off. Don't say any more, mother. That person is a scumbag. Other than me, he invited a house full of young masters and misses. There are all kinds of people. Those who don't know will think that he is choosing a consort. Don't see him in the future. Madame Fong sighed. She said, "It's good that you have an idea." After dealing with the Imperial Guards, Lord Fong also rushed over. After knowing what happened, he patted his daughter's shoulder. Prince Yu was wrong first. His Majesty won't be partial to Prince Yu. Miss Fong thought of the only two people who dared to confront Prince Yu after his identity was exposed. She said, "Father, can you tell me about His Majesty and Prince Yu?" "Why do you ask this?" "I heard that His Majesty is deeply in love with Prince Yu. I need to hear some touching love stories to comfort my hurt heart." Lord Fong's mouth twitched. He only saw the excitement on his daughter's face, but he didn't see any hurt on her face. However, Lord Fong cared about his daughter, so he didn't refuse. He told her what he knew one by one. He didn't notice his daughter's thoughtful gaze. "Miss Fong may have already guessed our identity, Your Majesty." Shen Yu followed behind Shang Junlin. Shang Junlin stopped and waited for Shen Yu to walk side by side with him. He held his hand that was hanging in his sleeve. "Yes." "Where are you taking me, Your Majesty?" Shen Yu let the man hold his hand and walked in an unfamiliar alley. "I'm taking you to the house where we will live during this time." Whether it was for safety reasons or other reasons, their identity was special. It was better to live in their own place. Afraid that Shan Yu would be unhappy, Shang Junlin thought for a while and added, "If you like Xingxing Tower, we can go there tomorrow." The evening sun was not dazzling, but it brought a warm feeling. Shan Yu narrowed his eyes. "When did His Majesty prepare it?" Seeing that Shan Yu didn't express dissatisfaction with his arrangement, Shang Junlin was relieved. "I asked someone to prepare it after watching the fireworks last time. It seems that His Majesty also wants to go out of the palace with me." Shen Yu teased. "Yes, I want to go with you." The two strolled in the bluestone alley. There were faint voices of people. The branches and leaves of the plants beside the alley were green. Occasionally, there were a few birds chirping. It was spring. After passing through the alley, a red door came into view. Eunuch Meng, who had been waiting inside, opened the door. "The two masters are finally back. Everything in the house is ready." Shan Yu walked in curiously. The courtyard was not big, but it was unique everywhere. The corridors were full of vibrant green plants. Shan Yu walked around and was very satisfied with the small courtyard where they lived temporarily. Later, Eunuch Meng brought Shang Junlin's memorials to approve. "Does His Majesty still need to be busy with official business when he comes out to play?" Shen Yu sat opposite Shang Junlin with his chin in his hand. Shang Junlin looked at the memorials handed by the minister while talking to Shen Yu. "Otherwise, it will pile up. After returning to the palace, it will be even busier. Some of it may be urgent to deal with." Shang Junlin picked up the next memorials and paused. It was presented by Fong Darren. Could it be about Prince Yu? The timing was too coincidental. Shan Yu subconsciously thought of what happened during the day. "His Majesty, take a look. Gue Jun, come and look with Zhen." Shang Junlin invited him. Shan Yu was really curious about the contents of the memorials. He didn't refuse Shang Junlin's invitation and sat next to him. This soft couch is not as comfortable as the one in the palace. Due to the limitation of space, the soft couch was smaller than the one in the palace. Shan Yu had to be close to Shang Junlin to sit down. The two were close to each other. Their body temperature passed through their clothes. Shen Yu sat for a while and felt warm. He instantly changed his view of the soft couch. Shang Junlin was very satisfied with this distance. He secretly thought about the possibility of changing the soft couch in the palace to a smaller one. When he was arranging it, he only made a request. It must be comfortable and Guijun likes it. The specific arrangements were completed under the supervision of eunuch Meng. After Shan Yu moved in, he changed the layout according to his own preferences. It became the current appearance of Yuzhong Palace. It had to be said that Shan Yu was a person who knew how to enjoy life. After Shang Junlin got used to living in Yuzhong Palace, he didn't want to go back to his own palace. Of course, he didn't deny that the most important reason was that Shan Yu lived in Yuzhong Palace. After returning to the palace, does Guijun want to move to Zhen's palace? After asking, Shang Junlin felt that this proposal was good. Encircling Shan Yu into his territory. When he thought of that scene, Shang Junlin felt a sense of satisfaction. Why did your majesty suddenly mention this? Shan Yu didn't understand how the topic jumped to this matter. At that time, Guijun can arrange the palace according to your preferences. Does Guijun have any dissatisfaction with Yuzhong Palace? Shan Yu shook his head. He was very satisfied with Yuzhong Palace, not to mention, I am now criticized by the ministers. If I move to His Majesty's palace, who knows what those people will come up with? Guijun doesn't seem like someone who will compromise for these things. Where Guijun and Zhen live is our private matter. I believe that the ministers won't interfere too much. Shang Junlin's eyes darkened and added, even if there is, Zhen will make them not dare to say a word. Zhen's decision is not up to them to question. Shan Yu knew that Shang Junlin meant what he said, but he didn't plan to move to Shang Junlin's palace at the moment. The distance was too close, far beyond his expectations. Does your majesty think that Yuzhong Palace is not good? Shan Yu leaned on Shang Junlin's shoulder, reached out to open the memorial, and changed the topic. Your majesty, look at what Fong Darren said. The first half of the memorial talked about official business, but the second half of the memorial changed. It began to complain, denouncing Prince Yu as inhumane and deceiving many women to secretly shed tears for him. His words were sharp and could affect people's emotions. Shan Yu looked at Fong Darren's criticism of Prince Yu without any vulgarities and was amused. This Fong Darren is quite interesting. Shan Yu felt that if Fong Darren was present at that time, Prince Yu would definitely suffer a double blow. He finally knew why Miss Fong was so good at talking. It turned out that she was influenced by him since she was young. Shang Junlin was not interested in the matter between Fong Darren and Fong Darren's daughter. He just wanted to pack up Shan Yu and bring him to his palace after returning. He absent-mindedly agreed with a few words, wrapped his arm around her flexible waist, and put his hand on Shan Yu's abdomen. The man's palm was warm, and Shan Yu was comfortably covered. She lazily leaned her whole body weight on Shang Junlin. Before he could continue talking about Fong Darren's daughter, the man's magnetic voice came from the top of her head. There is a baby here. Don't you think that you should give the baby's father a status? Shen Yu, you can't let this matter pass. You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.